will test your resilience. Failures are inevitable, but each of them is a step towards victory. Show patience and extract the maximum from challenging situations. Do not let difficulties break you. I'm also curious. Yeah, it actually let me keep my save from the demo, so that's interesting. And it looks like the volume's all set from when I played the demo as well, so we're good there. Ah, perfect. It popped up. I just needed to click into it more properly. That's what I figured. So some of you may remember this from when I did the demo, and some of you may not. If you watched me play Corman or a couple other things of that like, you'll understand immediately what this is. But to explain it, it's essentially a... yeah, I guess you could call it a grimdark creature collector roguelite deck builder? Yeah, that seems like all the words you would want for this strung together. It's an oversimplification, but it gives you the basic idea of what you're getting into. You're gonna be managing a team of creatures as you go along, and they're gonna die, probably. Because this world's kinda screwed. We're gonna go ahead and do a new game, because I don't remember where we were at in the demo, and I would rather see how they changed the early game as well. Because we're gonna be playing this for a few hours anyway. Because this is the full version of the game. And since this is gonna be separated in the VOD, I'm gonna reiterate this for anybody that watches the next VOD, but for this one, in that this is a Lurkit game. I was given this code. You know, take that as you will. It will not alter my stance on things. I will still give you all the accurate feeling I have of how this plays out. And to cover the full line there, I did play the demo before. I do have a decent idea of what I'm getting into. And I did enjoy the demo with a couple caveats back then. And I'm curious to see if they fixed those. Oh, I remember what I clicked out of the window for now. I wanted to see if this was early access. It is not. This is actually the full release, looks like. Yeah, and they phrase it as a dark monster taming JRPG. I guess there really isn't that much roguelite to it. I'm just so used to saying that at this point. Either way, let's go. I don't remember this being voiced. I wonder if they voiced the whole game now. That'd be nice. Save me some work. Nope. So another recruit? This is the harsh reality of wartime. I can tolerate the slop they now call food, and even life within walls like a rat in a cage, but I'll never accept that any random lout is fit to be a recruit. Nothing to be done. Each new sunrise costs many lives. You've been given the honor to take the fallen's place. Go beyond the walls and fight for humanity's future. I'll give the standard briefing. Whether you listen is up to you. But without this knowledge, you won't last long. Oof, Sonny. Hey, look at it this way. It's another one done, and it's another step closer to the end of the day. Your generation was born within these shelter walls, but you've surely heard stories of the outside world. Let me tell you, none of them capture even a shadow of its true horror. Beyond the walls lies the domain of the abyss, swarming with its repulsive spawn. Entities. That's what our ancestors named them. No weapon can stand against these monsters, but there is a way to turn them against their creator. I'm telling you this to learn your first and most vital lesson. A soldier's role isn't to fight directly, but to lead your own squad of entities into battle. That is what you must master. To start, let's decide who your first ward will be. Surely something is left in storage to choose from. So, in the demo we chose Ignisurge. And I think I'm going to stick to Ignisurge because they worked out pretty well. And obviously, you know, it's the most on-brand choice I can make. I was tempted by Herba Ancient really ain't my bag. But yeah, we'll keep Ignis Surge. My little dragon boy. The choice is made. Now we move to combat basics. Without these skills, your first expedition beyond the walls will end before it begins. The training ground is already prepared for battle. Let's not waste time. Battle tutorial. Main information about the entity, name, level, type, and energy. Energy is a key parameter. It decreases when damage is taken, and if it runs out, the entity will be defeated and unable to continue fighting. We have a health advantage on them already, so that's good news. Equipment and active effects affecting the entity are all shown over here. Hover over an item to see detailed information. Control shows you a legend of all the effects. The entity's current stats and what affects them are all down here. To attack, select one of the available attacks. After that, the entities will exchange blows. The one with the higher speed attacks first. Aspects are shown there. Some attacks are strengthened when certain conditions are met. Hover over the aspect icon for details. And you can only use an attack so many times. I believe you take damage if you use it again? Kind of like Struggle in Pokemon? Not 100% on that one off the top of my head. We can either Bite or Fireball here. I mean, we may as well Fireball. Okay, they immediately did fix one of the things I was complaining about with this demo. You may recall when we played the demo that all the attack effects and such were like weirdly boosted in volume. They were like turbo loud for no explicable reason. They seem much more balanced now, which is good. Also, our Fireball only did 13, and they did 15 to us. Let's see if our Bite does more. It does. Okay, so we'll be biting more here. I presume it has resistance to the fire. It is fatigued now, though, because you can't just spam an attack in this game, which is a good thing that they chose to do there. So we may as well cycle back to Fireball. Looks like we might have set them on fire as well. And they're dead. Very good. We took a lot of damage there, though, so let that be a sign of how this is going to go for us. You have to really trade blows with your enemy in this game early on. Not bad for a first try. Let's say you got the basics down. Every victory brings combat experience, the key to success beyond the walls. As it accumulates, entities develop new traits and abilities. You must track your squad's progress, review your companion's stats. It's crucial to understand their current capabilities. And there we go. There's all of his stuff. He learns Flash and Fire Bite as we go. He's level 5 right now. He has 1 resistance to negative effects, so that's actually pretty good. I believe the character is random. It's kind of like natures in Pokemon. I'm using that as the example because that's the thing people will mostly understand, probably. Also, my windows are all misaligned again because I had to click around. So there we go. Let's fix that. Okay. 25 speed's pretty good. Our magic attack is up, it looks like. Yeah, we have a little bit of infection and a bit of pain. Oh, wait, no. Bite inflicts a bit of pain and infection, whereas Fireball has a chance to inflict burn. That makes sense. There's also accuracy to watch out for. And you'll notice that these take a percentage of your stat. They're not actually, like, gonna be flat damage attacks. So as your stats rise, your attacks will become better. Or in a very clear way. This has crit damage increased because of its aspect, and if we have a Space Scarf, it goes up to 20%. Space Scarf makes this do energy damage. Okay. So it'll end up taking off more of their max health. Oh wait, yeah, genetics are more like the natures, because you can see there, it gets less magic defense per level, but it gets more magic attack per level. And this is more like its ability then, I guess. Soon you'll make your first sortie beyond the walls, where you'll only have yourself against the curse. You'll need to treat wounds alone using available supplies. This time, supplies will be issued from city reserves, but hereafter you'll need to restock at the local shop. Skimping on supplies may cost your life, but taking too much is unwise. Under the Abyss's influence, provisions spoil quickly. Unused leftovers must be discarded. That covers the basics. Now let's see what you're made of. Head to the crossroads, your starting point for surroundings. Walking the walls is relatively safe, but it will prepare you for real threats. Now we have inventory to keep track of. To access the inventory, press the I key. The inventory allows you to change the patron ring, select equipment, and use potions. Remember, excess consumables will have to be discarded at the end of the expedition. Which is unfortunate, but it makes sense. Also, apparently I never turned the audio back on, so that's on me. You guys did not hear the narration for the opening. Not that there was a long string there, but my apologies for you guys not having audio. I thought I clicked that to turn that back on, but I think what happened there is it ended up not actually taking the click input. It looks like the music might be a little too low still, so let's go ahead and fix that while we're at it. We'll just massage those meters a little bit. This is why I keep an eye on these things, is because invariably I make a mistake like that, and we end up having to fix it. I'm now not 100% sure if the sound was even on for the previous game. That could be bad. Well, no sense in worrying about it now. Let's have a look at what all these upgrades do for us before we go out. Market price reduction, if we upgrade that. 10% of events are shown to you ahead of time and increase the chance of finding a chest. Blacksmith will craft a special item if you upgrade the blacksmith. The herbalist will increase recovery from 80% to 90%. You unlock blessings at the Abbey. You get free consumables at the beginning of an outing with the warehouse. An initial abyss distortion -1 with making your house better. Oh, and the Souls Vault is where you keep your extra entities, and then you get more space if you upgrade it, and increase the starting Lux Wind. And you can get entity details from the archive, which right now I think is useless. Yeah, the only thing I think we can actually use right now is the market stall. And we started with the Soldier's Manual, the Dull Ring, and a Life Elixir, it looks like. Let's go ahead and open our inventory. Move this ring onto my boy here. How do I actually do that? Or... oh no, I think, yeah, only these go in the equipment slots. These, I think, are automatic? Question mark? Yeah, constant boost in battle, as long as you have it selected. So we could either take advantage of the extra accuracy and attack, which in this case is doubled because it's the only equipped item, or we could get an extra 5% protection against wild entities, which is basically any entity that's not under the control of somebody like us. Oh, let's hit the road. So let's see, we've got 9 steps to take, enemy level is 3, there's no cursed, and there's no long rests along the journey. Seems fine to me. As you can see, your typical layout out of the passages here. Overcome the path without falling under the onslaught of the abyss. The route is filled with random events with many possible outcomes. Successfully overcoming them is the main aspect of survival. Usually events are not known in advance, but they can be foreseen through scouting, past event outcomes, or bonuses. So we got Caustic Slime, Symptoms, or Abandoned Backpack. Let's go ahead and grab the Abandoned Backpack, because that's usually a positive. There's also Abyss Distortion to watch out for. Right now we're at 2 out of 20. the wild effect, I seem to recall, makes enemies a little weaker. So as the wild effect weakens, as you see up there, all your enemies become stronger, which is worth watching out for. 10, passive recovery gets disabled. 15, the cursed become elites. And 20, disruption. I don't know what disruption means, but it's probably not good. Abandoned backpack. Among battle remnants stood out a forgotten backpack. Beyond typical junk, it contained a mercenary's diary from a nearby village. Its pages held training notes, travels, and philosophical musings, a window into the author's mind. The find proved both fascinating and useful. Terrain notes will aid route planning. So we gained 3 Abyss Distortion, but we now get to see a bunch of hidden events. Like, we now know that there's Carnival Fairies and Blackleaf. There's a Calm down there. And there may be some other stuff we learned. Yeah, there's another backpack over there and a cave. And then we exit. Paths connect events, defining the route out of the upcoming expedition. Each time the group overcomes a path, they are healed a little, passive recovery. Sometimes paths have additional effects. The green paths give you double passive recovery. Orange paths take down Abyss Distortion by 1 if it's above 7. Red paths, there is no passive recovery, and if the Abyss Distortion is above 8, it goes up by 1. Blue paths give you greater scouting, probably because they're like clearer paths where you can see further or such. And yellow paths give you a little bit of money and other valuables along them. So down with the Blackleaf, there's a blue path. Past the Carnival Fairies, there doesn't seem to be anything particularly happening. So let's go with the Blackleaf path so we get a bit of information about what's ahead of us. Surviving cursed lands is hard. Ferns adapted first, rapidly overtaking fertile grounds. Now they rival the Abyss's spawn as threats. I guess we'll clear the area, why not? With few ferns here, the area could be saved. Despite spore inhalation and hand injuries, you cleared a safe path. Alternate outcomes. Squad contains entity of type fire. Using fire made vegetation removal slightly easier. We lost some health, gained some Abyss Distortion, but the next random path is easy. So we got a withering field ahead. And now we are informed about survival basics down here. Oh, this tells us the one thing we didn't see on the other parts. Lux Wind. Depending on the difficulty of the event overcome, the wind strengthens, increasing the chance of encountering favorable events. But once you experience good fortune, it will weaken again. Okay. Fertile fields are slowly withering without human care, yet life still clings to this land. Among the dried patches of earth, fragile green sprouts emerge. In an old barn stands an automatic pump buried under roof debris. If repaired, it might yield a new harvest next year. Sure, let's repair it, why not? The repairs proved much harder than expected. Rubble, rusty metal, the foul stench of oil. But the pump is now working. We get one more Abyss Distortion, we took some damage. But we did a good thing. The next year, there will be more harvest available, which may keep us alive longer. Also, just get a load of all the horrible gribbly things going on down here at the bottom of the map. I love little details like this. Somebody just sitting here and sketching out a bunch of stuff at the bottom of their map, like things jumping through portals, creatures gripping gravestones. Or is that meant to be a window? I'm not 100% sure if that's a window or a gravestone. It could be either. And then this whole, like, evil dance party going on down here. Oh, looks like we got our first fight hit against a real encounter coming up here.
Hello there.
Hey, ABC, how's it going? It's a teddy bear. Oh, no. Let's see, it's combat ready, so it gets a boost for every equipment it has. It gains 1% attack for every 6% energy lost. It's an outcast, so it gains attentiveness for 2 rounds if damaged by attacks of its own type. I'm alright so far, ABC, how about you? And of course, the wild effect that was mentioned. You get less experience for defeating it, but it is weaker across the board. Now, something that hasn't been mentioned is you can actually capture enemy entities, but we can't do that yet. it being a teddy bear, I'm sure it catches fire real nicely. So burn. Burn for your sins, evil teddy bear. It even looks so angry when it attacks you. Oh, we gave it attentiveness, so now it never misses and it dodges better. Not anymore, it isn't. Now it's just a pile of fluff on the ground. Now it's teaching us about potions. The entity has taken damage. Press I to open the inventory and use a potion. I could, but he's got health left. He'd be fine. Let's not go to symptoms, even though the orange path would help us a little bit. I'm gonna go to the box instead. Military marked crates aren't rare finds. Retreating forces often abandon them. They typically contain valuables meant for evacuation from cursed lands. It won't open without a crowbar, but you could try breaking it. In unified frenzy, everyone attacked the formidable opponent. Though not without scrapes, the crate's contents are now yours. Alternate outcome, luck. Among the finds was a sextant, an excellent navigation device. We gained a little bit of money, a scroll of ethereal bonds. Unfortunately, the abyss distortion went up. We gained some extra scouting and we took some damage. Now we may as well heal a bit. There we go. Yeah, you know, navigation, the ability to tell where the hell you're going. Okay, yeah, we don't get any passive regeneration there. Alright, ABC. A sudden wave of doubt clouds your mind with anxiety about the journey ahead. Just a momentary loss of confidence undermines your self-belief. Luck's wind is weakened significantly. Yikes, and we're also up to 10 abyss distortion, so wild monsters are stronger and we have no passive recovery now. Ah, that's fair. Another backpack, which is going to push the distortion higher. And it's just the same as the last one. Whew, that's a lot of distortion, though. Thankfully, we're going to get out of here before it gets too bad. Faint pleas for help echo from a nearby cave's depths. The entrance seems safe, but unnaturally thick darkness within unsettles you. Gee, I wonder if it's a trap with all of the scary red eyes looking at me from the darkness. Gee, I wonder, could this be a problem or something? Let's do it anyway, though. Let's play the fool. Following the cries deeper, the darkness thickens until the last light vanishes. Then sinister laughter rings out. Freezing water rapidly floods the cave. By luck, you find an exit as the voice mocks your retreat. We took damage, we gain a bunch more Luck's wind, which won't really help us at this point, and we do hit the next threshold of abyss distortion. So there would be elite cursed if we weren't already leaving. The expedition nears its end. The area has been cleared, and the local trails are now relatively safe for mounted travel. A cavalry reconnaissance soon met you, arriving to survey the liberated lands. The silent commander nodded toward one of the horses, making it clear the steed was now yours. Time to return home. So we gained 2 material and 15 gold. And we've survived our first patrol. Back already, and not empty-handed. I see you've managed to find some construction materials. Perfect timing. The shelter's going through hard times and desperately needs repairs. Check out the local buildings. Each has its own uses. You're free to decide what to restore first, but right now I have a task concerning the archive, a repository of data on all known entities. A recent storm caused severe damage, destroying most records. We need to rebuild it and resume data collection. It popped up 2 separate windows here, but I think there's nothing behind this one. But we'll read it in order anyway. Northwich has many different buildings, and each one is useful in its own way. Hover your cursor over a building to see what benefits it provides. We did that already. Most structures only grant passive bonuses, but some can be interacted with. For example, you can buy supplies at the guild shop, or get information about encountered entities in the archive. Upgrades. You can upgrade buildings using materials. Hover your cursor to see the upgrade cost and the bonuses it will provide. If you have enough material, hold right mouse button while highlighting the desired building. And our goal right now is to restore the archive, so let's restore the archive. Excellent. The archive is operational again. Use it if you have any questions about any entity. Now about your squad. Surrounding is relatively safe, but distant regions are different. You won't get far with just one companion. You need to expand the squad. The Sealing Scroll, an incredible invention and humanity's last hope. It can seal and subjugate an entity, stripping the curse's control over it. It's time to demonstrate how it works. So they're gonna have us catch this cat. 30% chance to succeed, limit 60%. You'll notice we get attacked for trying to use the Sealing Scroll on it, though. You've used the scroll and skipped turn, but now you have a chance to take control of the wild entity after the battle. The chance is small, but you can increase it using another scroll, and the maximum chance is only limited by its quality. Or you can simply finish the fight and hope for the best. Now, this is more akin to a Digimon game than a Pokemon game as far as this goes. Is basically you have a chance of getting them to join you after the fight now, instead of you having to just chuck scrolls at them and hope that they get caught. Now, as far as this goes, I kind of want this on our side, so let's go ahead and throw another scroll at it. It'll put it a shit up to 60% chance. As I recall the soft paw being pretty useful when we had it in the demo. Now we have to fight it, though. We start at a disadvantage in this fight by having spent the turns raising our odds. I'm pretty sure we can and hurt it ahead of time and then throw scrolls. Is basically you just need to make sure that you seal it before the fight ends, essentially. And the ritual succeeded. We now have a soft paw on our team. This concludes your briefing, but there's much left to learn. I'm assigning you to assist veteran fighters, a perfect opportunity to gain experience. You've heard of Levy, the Reconnaissance Corps commander. He failed to return from his last sortie. Missing soldiers are commonplace, but Levy was a master of his craft. He wouldn't have fallen on such a routine mission. We must discover what happened to him. Likely some new unknown threat has emerged in the area. And you're just the sucker we're gonna send to find out what happened. His last operation was deep in the Great Forest. Several search teams have already been dispatched there. Your orders are to scout its outskirts. Move out immediately. Time is against us. The squad is growing. You can now change the battle order. The first in the list will start the fight. Risk is a great way to save money, but is it worth it? Some provisions for the road would be useful. Let's have a look at our soft paw before we do anything else. It's a normal type, its genetics give it extra health but less magic resistance. And its character trait is timid, so it has more evasion but less of both defense types. This thing's gonna be fragile as hell. It has bite just like our Ignisurge does, but it also has precision strike. Its advantage is it never misses. It does less damage than bite by a little bit, but it has increased crit chance and it can't miss. So it's pretty useful. And it gains purity of mind for 1 round if it dodges, which is probably useful. It does, however, only have 9% chance to evade, so that's not huge. He does have 1 more speed than our Ignisurge, though, so that's not too bad. And as far as the shop goes, we start with 3 scrolls of ethereal bonds. I wouldn't mind buying more, but it looks like we don't have any that we can buy. So that's a shame. We should probably grab some provisions? Like 35% health is great, but you need to have the provisions both to reduce Abyss Distortion, and if you go to the Hunger event, you will be harmed if you do not have any provisions, as you might imagine. So we're gonna grab at least 1 set of provisions. Oh, I thought I could buy more than 1 provision, but we'll just grab 1 provision, 1 life elixir then. And of course, we can have a look at the teddy bear. Rarity's common, shows appearance rate only, not combat strength. It appears in the forests and mountains. Soft paws can appear in forests, steppes, deserts, taiga, and swamps, and Ignisurges are very rare and appear in steppes, desert, and darkness. Oh yeah, we also know about the luminous grub because we fought that in the tutorial. Forest, steppe, taiga, and swamp, and it's medium. So there you go. That's all the information we have right now. Let's go back out and see how it goes for us. Let's go ahead and put Soft Paw in the front, though, because he's lower level. We want to get him caught up, probably. So let's see. We've got the Great Forest outskirts, which is where we're supposed to be going, or we could go back to surroundings. Let's go ahead and just carry on forward. Is the enemy levels are only 4 to 5. We don't want to outlevel our opponents too much, I'm sure. Bear in mind, though, there are going to be cursed out there, and they're currently going to have team size 1. You may wonder what that means, or you may have figured it out immediately by that description. You'll notice we don't have a choice but to fight one before we leave, by the way. It'll make sense later. Abyss Conventions. The first convention, basic passive recovery is 5% of maximum energy. Any one battle reduces Abyss Distortion by 1. Abyss Distortion is further reduced by 1 if the fight is with a mutant or cursed, by 2 if the opponent is a cultist. And then there's a bunch of other conventions that happen. I presume that's pertaining to the amount of distortion, probably. And currently, Lux Wind is 50, which I presume is like a 50-50 chance of good or bad things happening. So we got a hive, which is an entity dwelling, an abandoned backpack, or just an entity. Let's go to the hive. A strange structure of debris and slime stands by the roadside. Overcoming disgust, you enter hoping to find valuables. Your intuition proved right. There were indeed some coins inside, along with the homeowner. Alternate outcome, no lockpick. The locked cabinets likely held more valuables. We found a muzzle, which reduces damage taken by 20% when fighting against an entity with wild effect. And we gained a bit of gold and building supplies, but we also found a fight with a griffin. Okay. Okay. 103 health, level 4. I'm down to grab myself a griffin. I do only have 3 scrolls, so I'm only gonna give it a 30% chance. It'll be a 1 in 3 shot of if we get this griffin or not. Start off with some biting, see if we can get some effects on him. He's got some pain now, which pain reduces their speed, which is good. Let's go ahead and bite him again. Got some more pain on him. So he's real slow now. Hit him with a precision strike. He's nearly gone. He doesn't do much damage, surprisingly. And we'll just take him out with another precision strike. And we got him. We have a griffin now. Scroll storage. Squad limit exceeded. You have captured more entities than you can currently control. Use the scroll storage in Northwich to adjust your team composition. Oh, so they locked you to only having 2 capacity at the moment. Okay. Well, it's still worth my while to catch some extras anyway, I'm sure. In case people will die, or I end up, like, knowing that I need a different element when I'm going somewhere. We don't know what our next event's gonna be, so let's find out. Caustic Slime. Daily clouds from the cursed land's depths bring acid rains. Where precipitation is heaviest, caustic fields form. Lifeless wastes, pockmarked with craters spewing toxic fumes. Once teeming with life, even abyss spawn now avoid these lands. We can either proceed cautiously or just recklessly charge through it. I'm gonna proceed cautiously here. Navigating carefully, you avoid most burns, but the prolonged exposure weakened your mind, leaving it vulnerable to the abyss's influence. So we get more distortion in exchange for less damage. That's not great, but it's workable. We should probably make use of that muzzle we found to reduce the damage of fighting wild enemies. Our soft paw doesn't have any equipment yet anyway. Let's see. What did purple do again? Purple was extra abyss distortion if less than 7. So we probably don't want to go down then. We'll go to the entity up here then, hit this event, and take the green path. Because the green path heals us anyway, so that's probably the best choice we have either way. Yep. We got a Meliopsticatus. No. Meliopsitacus, not Paticus. Either way. It's a bird. It has charge, so it has a chance to inflict shock when it gets hit. That seems like it could be useful, and it is a higher level than the Griffin was, so we'll try to catch this too. I mean, honestly, I'm probably just gonna start trying to catch everything I see initially, till we learn what's good and what isn't good. And something with another element like an electric bird like this would probably be very useful to us. Go ahead and bite it again. We're basically gonna do 2 bites and then precision strikes, probably, for most of these fights. Though I am running out of charges, because the charges carry over from fight to fight. So the more of them you drain, the more trouble you're gonna be in. Oh, now you got a crit, now that the crit didn't matter. And we succeeded again. 2 30% successes back to back. I feel like I've cursed myself. Also, streamer mode didn't activate properly again. Thankfully, I noticed it before somebody sent me a message this time. But I would really love it if Discord would work properly and streamer mode would activate correctly. If wishes were fishes and all that. Let's go ahead and put Ignis Surge to the front since Soft Paw caught up in level now and is also, like, out of attack charges. Guardians, a creation of brilliant engineering minds, one of the early attempts to halt the Abyss's spread. These metallic warriors detect even the faintest traces of Abyss and immediately engage. However, as the Abyss echoes began manifesting in all living beings, the Guardians lost the ability to discern their targets. So we got attacked by the Guardian there, I guess. We took some damage, the Abyss distortion went up, and we took an injury that makes all of our healing worse. Great. You know, maybe we'd be better off going and getting the chest so we don't take the doubts. We're gonna lose the passive recovery benefit here, but we're losing out on the healing anyway, so I think we're better off going for the chest. We got a magma stone, a scroll, and some bits and bobs. Magma stone is 25% in chance, 100% if crit, chance to inflict burn for 2 rounds when dealing physical damage. That could be useful to Ignis Surge, because its only chance to burn right now is on its Fireball. Having both of its attacks able to burn might be really good for us. It is going to weaken the Soldier's Manual, but I think the burn will be worth it. It does also mean that the Dull Ring is now completely useless to Ignis Surge, though. He no longer has a defense benefit against wild enemies. So that's a risk, but I think it's okay. We also don't have too much more ground to cover. We just have the Witch's Stall, a Hunger Event, 2 randoms, and then a cursed enemy to fight. The Witch's Stall may not have been the best name for a chain of alchemy stores, but they were once immensely popular. This shop has long been abandoned and likely stripped of anything valuable. Yet with patience and thorough searching of every corner, you might still find something worthwhile. Nothing feels as oppressive as rummaging through the ruins of former life. It's hard to comprehend how quickly everything changed when the curse came. Alternate outcome, good luck! At least the time wasn't wasted. We got an experience potion, a soul extract, and unfortunately the Abyss distortion went up by 2. Probably because of the time we had to spend. So let's see. The experience potion grants 5% of the experience needed for the next level, and the soul extract randomly changes character. Huh. What does that actually mean? Oh, right. It changes their nature, essentially. I forgot it was specifically called character. Okay, that makes sense now. We have provisions, so the hunger won't hurt us. Eeny, meeny, miny, that one. You managed to ignore your body's needs for a while, but now food dominates all thoughts. Fortunately, your backpack contains provision for a quick meal, but supplies are limited. Perhaps it's wiser to save it for harder times. You can save the provision, or have a snack. Let's go ahead and have a snack. Your body brims with energy while your mind revels in life's simplest joy. You lose 2 of the Abyss Distortion, everybody gains 10% health, and the provision is removed from inventory. Now we're back past the threshold for the weakening of the wild effect. For the next, like, 2 seconds. It'll probably go right back up again in a minute here. Oh, we found a fight. Against a Jaws. Ah, it's a plant. It has a lot of effects, though. Adaptive, applies crystal skin for one round at the end of the turn if total physical and magical attack is less than the opponent's. Berserker, inflicts anger for one round if end of round energy is less than 20%. Doesn't work if any weapon is equipped. Will to Live, inflicts crystal skin for one round if end of round energy is less than 30%. And Sunny, if day, restore 4% of energy pool on a crit, resistance +5. Good lord, this thing has a lot going on, huh? None of our stuff has that much. I guess we should try to catch that, huh? That seems like it might be powerful. I was actually going to say I'm going to ignore that because I don't really care for plants that much, but that seems useful, so we'll throw a scroll at it. Okay, it just has Bite so far. It probably has some kind of plant-based move as well. And Crystal Skin raises both defenses by 18. Yikes. I'm betting Fireball is going to be effective. If you'll notice, there's green borders around all of these. I believe that indicates type effectiveness. So Fire probably beats Flora. Yeah, there we go. Type effectiveness. Fire beats Flora, Flora beats Ground, Ground beats Electricity, Electricity beats Water, Water beats Fire. And Jin, Medium, and Ghost are a separate trio as well. Ghost beats Jin, Jin beats Medium, Medium beats Ghost. Each combat move and entity has its own type, Ground, Water, etc. Each type has one strength and one weakness. For example, water attacks deal extra damage to fire-type entities, but water entities are vulnerable to electricity-type entities. The entity type also affects certain effects. Fire creatures cannot catch fire, and ghosts cannot be frightened, etc. You can view the hint again by holding down Control. Go ahead and set you on fire again. How is this plant faster than you, buddy? Come on now. You can do better than that. Come on. If my dragon's getting outrun by a flower, I have problems with this idea. A third 30% in a row. I don't know if your first trip out is guaranteed ceiling success now or not. I will say, I kept going for these 30% in the demo, and almost every one of them failed. So either they changed that, or I've just been on a lucky streak here. But we'll be able to change up the team a lot if I want to once we're done here. So that's nice. Oh yeah, there's more images on the bottom now that the map's extended, by the way, because this is all the stuff we saw. It stopped here before. Now you got a bunch of people pointing at some kind of demon that's just sitting real sad on this bench for some reason. That's just a bunch of them just sitting there real sad. So a monocle or a broken puppet, an entity that doesn't show aggression. I mean, a monocle would be nice to have because, you know, they're just nice and stylish, but I'm curious about the broken puppet. This entity behaves unlike its frenzied kin, seemingly ignoring everything. The Abyss may have lost control, offering a rare chance to avoid combat. We could fight it anyway and try to catch it, or we could go around it. Let's fight it anyway. We could use the experience, and potentially we might snag a new ally. Okay, it's a grub. Oh, I don't have any storage space left, huh? Well, never mind. I should have thought about that beforehand. I also realized as I was doing that, like, you know, I don't know if I have... I don't know if I had any scrolls left. Was another thing that just hit me as I decided to do that. We also might run out of attacks. Because we do have another fight on our hands coming up after all. Thankfully this grub didn't take long to take down. Almost a level for Ignisurge, so that's good. Ignisurge, however, is kind of in shambles now. So I think we start the cursed fight with Softpaw. So we do have a potion still on hand. So let's go ahead and heal him a little bit. And actually, I think this will get him his level. So yeah, we'll do that too. He is our starter, so we're obviously going to heal him up a bit. And we do have an extra scroll. I wasn't out of scrolls yet. I don't think we're gonna be fighting anything with wild. So we're gonna take that off, and we're actually gonna transfer the soldier manual over to soft paw here. This way they both benefit it from something. Because I'm pretty sure the entities controlled by the curse don't count as wild. And there's Levy. Death is the best fate for those who fall victim to the curse. Those less fortunate become the cursed, mindless puppets of darkness. Knowing neither hunger nor fatigue, these loyal servants of the Abyss spread corruption worldwide, stopping at nothing to defend it. Basically, these are essentially enemy trainers. Battle against humans. Wild entities are not the only danger in this world. Sometimes you have to face hostile humans who have their own team of entities. Entities with a master do not suffer from the wild debuff and benefit from equipment bonuses, making them dangerous opponents. As shown here, that's the equipment they have. It's a boogie. An electricity ghost. Okay, so there's dual types in this game. That's good to know. It's got Harbinger of the End if Night, Accuracy, and Resistance +5. And it has Hatred, just like our Ignisurge does. So I'm glad I don't have a water entity with us here, otherwise the electricity probably would shred him. But the pickaxe gives a chance to inflict vulnerability for 1 round when dealing physical damage, +7% to the target if their combined physical and magical defense is lower than that of the bearer. And the last, again, magic attack +10%, magic defense +5. Dodged my first bite. Hits me with discharge. Takes the second bite, though, and hits again with discharge. And then your last shot is the precision strike. And you get hit with Shadow Ball. And yeah, see, now you have exhaustion. You take a bunch of damage, but you restore 1 use of each of your abilities. What we're actually going to do here is switch out. Which I think takes a turn. Yeah, so we're taking a hit on our way in, which is not great, but it's better than taking all that damage in order to regain charges. Let's just go ahead and bite right off the top, give him some pain. Shadow Ball. Thankfully, we are definitely faster than him now. Oh, no, we went first. And then we slowed him down and he went first. Huh, weird. Anyway, he's dead now. Oh, we're in shambles, but probably fine. Just kilometers from Sanctuary at the Great Forest's edge, you find Levy. Black festering sores, ragged breathing, and chaotic spasms. He can't even rise or focus his gaze. Clear late-stage infection signs. His mind has succumbed to the Abyss. All that remains is to investigate and report to the commander. No clues. How and where the Abyss claimed Levy remains a mystery. Yet his missing gear stands out. Monsters wouldn't take it. He must have discarded it himself. Realizing his time was short, he likely tried lightening his load to reach the village, but his weakening grip still clutched blood-stained paper scraps, the one thing he couldn't release. Staying is too dangerous. Carefully extracting the papers, you hurried on. And now we get out. This is the same dialogue we've read before, so I'm not going to read it all out again. We got 30 gold and 3 e-material that time. And boy, are we carrying some grim news. Levy, one of our best fighters. His death is a grave loss to the unit. The papers he died trying to deliver are covered in apparent gibberish. At first glance, mere trash, but I'm certain Levy wouldn't risk his life for nothing. These records will require analysis time. You're dismissed until further orders. So we can just kind of go do whatever, I guess, for a bit. With 5 material, we can either upgrade the market stall to make the prices cheaper, make the archive better, which shows conditions of evolution, which could be very big for us, or we can get blessings. Or more space, and more starting luck wind. Since we're probably only going to be playing for a couple hours, I'm going to go ahead and get the conditions for evolution because I'm curious. Ooh, it gives experience per battle after that, so that's good. Level 17 is how Ignisurge evolves. Level 28 is how the teddy bear evolves. 22 during day or night gives you 2 different evolutions for Softpaw. Level 15 is how the griffin evolves. 25 for the bird. 11 for the luminous grub. No evolution for Jaws, which is probably why it's so strong. Level 32 with an ectoplasm for the boogie. Okay, so we definitely want to bring the griffin out because he's the first one that'll evolve out of what we have. Well, let's have a look at each of them first. The griffin is another normal type. It starts with extra resistance and less health. It is unfortunately composed, so all of its attacking stats are worse, but its defensive stats are better, and all it has is tackle at the moment. It gains backstab at level 6 and weak spot at level 13. So it's gonna have a little bit of a rough go till it gets to level 6 because it's not gonna have much attack usage. And it looks like backstab only gets 2 charges, so that's gonna be rough as well. Meanwhile, the electric bird just has discharge, which only has 7 uses. Gains charge strike at level 6. Quick attack at 13. Supersonic attack at 20. And it starts with increased magic attack and lowered resistance. And it has decreased speed and higher accuracy. Jaws, however, just has bite. Gained additional magic defense, less resistance, more speed, less resistance. So its resistance is terrible. And then it has all those bonuses. It has 8 attacks. Level 6, it gains Spore Ejection. Level 12, it gains Leech Seed. 15, Sandstorm. 24, gains Camouflage. 27, Vine Whip. 33, Rune of Life. And 38, Poisoned Blade. Meanwhile, Ignisurge just gains Flash at 9 and Firebite at 14. I presume the other 4 abilities probably pop up when it evolves. Because you notice, all of the ones that only had 4 all had evolutions, whereas Jaws has all 8, but has no evolution. So that's almost certainly how that works. So that's fun. Let's go ahead and take the equipment off Softpaw, and we're going to trade Softpaw out, though. Just so we get to see something else. We're going to keep Ignisurge in because, you know, they're our starter and they are very potent. We kind of need something to carry the new guy along a little bit. Yeah, I just need more experience to be able to control a larger squad. Which I think in the demo they skipped that step. I think you were able to have a larger squad right off the top. Let's risk bringing the Griffin. Again, he's the one who evolves the soonest. Let's go ahead and do some shopping in the market stall. We could get the medical kit, which gives more passive recovery and a bunch of immunities. Ooh, we can get a stamina potion now. We definitely want that because our move reserves get bad. Obviously, we want some more scrolls. The good news is, you'll notice everything else you can only get 1 of. Scrolls are infinite, so you don't have to worry about running out of those. Lockpicks would be nice, but they're only for hives. And I'm much more interested in having a potion and a provision on hand for our next trip. We have some money left, so let's grab a 3rd scroll. And I think that'll do it. We'll give the bird the book for now. Also, take note, Ignisurge is not at full health. He did not get his full health back. So, actually, here's something we're going to do then instead. We're going to trade Ignisurge out for this trip. We're going to go double bird, and we're going to go to an earlier area. Get these 2 trained up a little bit. We're going to go back to the surroundings, I think. We could go to Great Forest outskirts, but I feel like that'd be a risk for them. We could also do regular Great Forest. But that's 5 and 6, and there's 12 tiles. I'd rather just take it a bit easy while learning how well these 2 are going to work out. Dark Thoughts. Let's go in the middle so I can decide where I want to go from there. Break open the box. 5 scouting, a little bit of money. Bad news otherwise. Let's not toy with the dark thoughts. Deadlands. For these lands, all is lost. They've been completely consumed by the curse. A black, utterly empty wasteland containing nothing but shadows. Physical manifestations of the abyss. This substance cannot leave the Deadlands, but ruthlessly attacks any creatures daring to cross their borders. So we can either send the toughest or the strongest. Just to face the enemy. Let's send the strongest. The brave fighter charges into the crowd of shadows. The skilled warrior battles masterfully, holding their ground confidently against the enemy onslaught. Their unwavering resolve buys the party enough time for safe passage. The most experienced undefeated entity lose 15% of max energy and 10% experience gain to reach the next level. And we get 2 Abyss Distortion. It probably would have been worse on the other side. And yeah, that was Lightning Bird, because he was a level 5 instead of 4. So Deadlands are a little rough. Red is bad, so let's not go red. Which means we're going either to Blackleaf or to the question mark. Let's take the question mark because it'll get everybody healed. I might regret this. Bone hand. A bony hand juts out of the ground in the middle of the road. It twitches erratically, clattering loudly as if trying to attract attention. From a distance, it's hard to tell, but something is clearly clutched in its lifeless grip. Let's try to take it? Sure. Overcoming a sense of unease, you decide to pry open the skeletal fingers and claim the object. We got the Valkyrie one. A random undefeated entity gains a Seal of Decay. So that's unfortunate. Seal. A seal is a permanent effect applied to an entity as a result of certain events. There are 2 types of seals, empowering and crippling. An entity can only have 1 seal at a time. If an opposing seal is applied to an entity with an existing one, they cancel each other out. So he takes 10% more damage and his aspects are disabled. So he can't actually deal bonus damage if none of his effects apply anymore. That's not that big a deal. Oh, onwards to get into more trouble. Teddy Bear returns. Do I want Teddy Bear? I don't think I want Teddy Bear. Teddy Bear seems kind of boring, and we already have 2 normal types. Bump. They're gonna just sit here and keep trading blows, though, and I don't think that that's resoundingly effective. We're gonna take some free damage switching, but I think it's better to switch and let the Lightning Bird do some work here. See if he does more damage or not. No, he does about the same. He did shock the Teddy Bear, though, so he won't take any damage here for at least 1 hit. Which basically balanced out the turn he took damage switching in, so maybe that wasn't worth it. And it does split the experience, which may not actually be my finest of decisions. We got a purple path over there, but we could go around it. Let's go this way. Another withering field. Let's go ahead and repair the pump again. We'll take the free damage, which is unfortunate. Ooh, a monocle. Traces of mysterious events, a crudely drawn pentagram with a neatly arranged suit at its center. Investigating further, you examine the items and discover a perfectly preserved monocle, though nothing else of interest. The mystery remains unsolved, but the find is quite useful. We get 8 more scouting. So I guess somebody teleported or transformed or something and left their clothes behind. Or something ate them and left the clothes behind. We could take a short break, or we could go up. Let's take the short break to heal them both up. The respite brought long-awaited relief to weary bodies, but emptying our mind invited the abyss's whispers. This path offers no true rest. So that was unfortunate, because now there's more abyss distortion, and we have no passive recovery anymore. Hooray! Let's get into one more fight. Because the whole goal here was to get these guys levels. And it's another fucking teddy bear. God damn it. I should have known better than to run through here, I guess. Because this area wasn't gonna have anything good. keep tackling away. The diminishing returns on repeated attacks is why I was kind of upset to see that these guys only had one attack each. Go ahead and swap you out. One, before you die, and two, before you end up injuring yourself trying to recharge your abilities. And now he dies. That should be a level for the griffin and almost a level for the bird. Perfect. And out we go. And you'll notice we got no reward for that, though. No ending reward, because I guess it's only the first time. Ah, there we go. Levy has permanently etched his name in our victory's history. The recovered documents contain fragments of a very intriguing diary. The author writes with difficulty and obvious mental confusion, but a careful analysis reveals coherent passages. The entries mention the abyss and its properties. The diarist clearly understands the curse far better than we do. Crucially, these were written recently. The author may still live. For the first time we have a lead on the corruption's origin. We must find this person. I don't want to make this public until I understand what we're dealing with. For now, only we know about this, which is why I want you to follow Levy's trail and find the diary's owner. His last expedition took place in Oblivion, a thorny section of swamps at the border of the Great Forest. Retrace his route and find the author, and try not to share Levy's fate. So you're sending a rookie to go follow the path of an expert who died. I see. That's totally not gonna backfire at all. You'll notice these two didn't heal at all, by the way, by being in storage. Because I guess they only heal if they make a trip out and come back. We also didn't make much money. So we actually basically wasted the provision and stamina elixir and life elixir that I bought. You could say that, at Callista, you could say that. Let's go ahead and trade back at least one of these for one of our experts. Bring Ignisurge back, keep the Griffin to try to get him leveled up. But we're gonna have to punch a little bit higher if we want to make any profit here. We only got one material, so nothing to do here. So our next target appears to just be the Great Forest area over here, because you probably were expected to go here, and then you would be able to go to Oblivion from here. So let's just take these two into there. Ignisurge should be able to just carry. Actually, let's put the Griffin at the front just so he gets into the first couple fights. We don't want symptoms, so I guess Blackleaf first. We've already read all this. We'll just clear the area again. Next random path is easy. Oh, we got a witch stall. We're going there. And we got an experience potion. Perfect. We're just gonna immediately feed that to the Griffin, because he's the one who needs the experience. And now we found a fight. What do we got? Another Jaws. We already have one of those. But we don't have room for more things to be caught anyway, thinking about it. So worrying about what we find is actually kind of pointless. Okay, you keep getting blinded. This thing's also weak to fire, so let's switch to Ignisurge now that you've done your 2 tackles. Switched into the bite, which is not great. Yeah, even with it being effective, that doesn't do a ton of damage. I suppose we are doing more than they are, though. There we go. Level for the Boyd. So now he's got his second attack. So he's a little less useless now. We are gonna have to heal. We don't. I didn't buy a healing potion because I couldn't afford it. We've got a Stalker, a Carnival Fairy, or an anything. Let's go see the Stalker because it's the zone type of Stalker, not the follow you around and be weird kind of Stalker. Stalkers, veteran wanderers scouring cursed lands for artifacts. Their hard-won survival experience can prove invaluable. Let's train with them. The skilled warrior gladly shares expertise, training one entity. The grueling session strains body and mind under the master's stern watch. Proves undeniably effective. +2 Abyss is unfortunately, but the least experienced undefeated entity loses 15% max energy and gains 20% of the experience needed for the next level. So he's already gained like a third of his level, which is pretty handy. The amount of damage we're taking is scary because we're not even halfway through. But we'll just have to make do. Oh, we found a chest. Excellent. I didn't catch what we got, though. Doesn't look like we got much out of that chest. Didn't even, like, pop up the event thing or anything. There's a hive, though. Do I really want to get into an extra fight, though? No, I think we go to the Withering Field, and for once we don't actually repair the pump. We just move through. Oh, that's not ideal. Because now we have no passive recovery, and the wild effect is weakened. We don't want to go north. I guess this way is the only way we're going, then. Trachemes. 25% less damage from critical attacks received. And he's water-based. Okay. Backstab. Fortunately, crit seems to be the Griffin's main shtick, so it's kind of a problem that we're fighting something that's gonna take reduced damage from crits. He'll still be able to win this fight, but he's not gonna be good for much else afterwards. That is level 7 for him, though, so he's gaining ground pretty well. That is gonna hit us with distortion. Actually, no, if less than 7. No, greater than 7. Wait, no, purple's good if greater than 7, right? We actually want to go that way, then. So we get a free calm, but it is going to take us into dark thoughts. The expedition proceeds uneventfully. The oppressive silence grows heavier. Seeking distraction, you ponder, but maintaining positive thoughts proves impossible amid this decay. Only images of ruin and nightmare surface. Luck's wind has reduced significantly. We're down to 30 luck. And we get another 3 distortion. Ooh. We're back up above the 10 threshold there, which is such a shame. To crack open that box, we need all the help we can get. Got a foil hat. 20% chance to apply mental barrier and attentiveness for 2 rounds when receiving magic damage. Immunity to the madness effect. What if they're right? Great. So the one thing between me and absolute destruction, a tinfoil hat. That's what I need right now, right? Fucking tinfoil hat. We're not gonna have a hunger event, so we can use the provisions to restore the entire squad. Oh wait, no, it can only be used during hunger, so it's useless. You are basically out of moves, so let's restore some of your moves, Griffin, in case it comes down to you having to fight against this cursed enemy here. Oh good, it's a fire elemental, which is gonna mean my fireball is useless here. Love that for me. And it also can't be set on fire. It has less speed but higher critical attack power, 8 extra resistance. Magic and physical defense is increased by 1/3 of the base resistance, unable to be poisoned. And 15% chance to inflict burn for 2 rounds when receiving physical damage. Thankfully, we're burn proof because we're fire as well. But we're almost certainly gonna end up getting knocked out here if I'm not careful. Thankfully, it seems to only have fireball. Because you would figure it would have chosen something that'd be a little more effective than hitting me with my own element. We're gonna have to throw our own low damage fireball out, but we should actually be able to win this fight straight up. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. 39 experience for Ignis Surge, which gets him to level 9. And we get out of here free and clear. We get the Haku Horn, some money, and some material. The team is a bit in shambles, but less in shambles now that we've made it home. I think now is a good time to unlock blessings. I feel like we're gonna need them. The monastery has been restored, and you can now choose one of the special power-ups. So let's see, we get, at the end of battles, the not defeated entity with the lowest remaining energy restores 2% of its maximum energy, increases the chance to find a chest during an expedition, or each time you step on an unknown event, scouting increases by 1. Let's take the regen. We're gonna need that. Thankfully, we have money, so let's buy a full set of provisions. And unfortunately, we're kind of still stuck in that loop. I have 4 scrolls already, so I don't really need to buy more of them. Let's go ahead and get lockpicks. I'm going to assume those carry over, because they count as keys. We can learn a little bit more about Turtle, level 25 evolution. We already knew it was water. Fire Elemental does not evolve. So I'm kind of surprised he was only throwing fireballs. He probably had other moves. He just chose to keep throwing fireball, I guess. You never know. Sometimes they make the weirdest decisions. I really should have gotten myself more space in here, but it is what it is. Because more space would have allowed us to catch more things. And yeah, now we can go to the Fetid Pass. I guess we can't get to Oblivion yet. I guess we gotta work our way there. So 11 steps, accursed with 2 team size. And enemies level 6 to 7. How much experience do I need to control a larger squad? Like, what do I have to do to get more dudes? Who knows? But you need the protection from wild enemies, since you're gonna... Actually, no. The Griffin will be leading, so let's give him the protection. He'll have less of an attack boost and less of a accuracy boost, but that's fine. Actually, do you have an evasion bonus? You don't. It was the cat that had evasion bonus. The Haku Horn would be great for him. But he is no longer on the squad. So actually, I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of the manual on him. Because what we're gonna do is he gets 20% damage reduction against wild enemies from the muzzle, and then he's gonna get an extra 5% from the dull ring. This way, 25% less damage taken unless it scales differently. Which it might. It easily could scale differently than that. Just clear a notification. Okay. Because otherwise we just sit there at the bottom of the screen and bug me. So, off to the Fetid Pass we go. And it's gonna be profitable for us, at least. We just need to get through it alive. I do like that you can just pass equipment around, though, so you're not, like, locked in to a choice there. Got a magic trap, nightmares, entity, and an abandoned backpack. Let's fight the entity straight off, because I don't really want to go to the magic trap. So I think this top row is going to be our best choice at the moment. We got a yellow grub. It's electricity, wild, of course, and it doesn't seem to have anything else particularly going on. So we'll backstab it. Backstab it again. Already down to 50. 2 more hits to take it out. Oh, it's got spike shot. which gave us a little bit of an infection to reduce our resistance. Too late though, because he's dead. Just gotta keep working that griffin up. Storm. Well, that's not great. The storm, another trial on the path. Gloomy thunder, sticky mud, and wind gusts that sap your strength. With each step, what remains of your morale slips away, and just when it seemed things couldn't get worse, a stray lightning bolt strikes dangerously close. We lose some scouting, lose some health, and gain some abyss distortion. Hooray! What a great day to be me. Silent trader that won't haggle over prices, or something that could be anything. We don't have any money, so I don't think going to a trader is worth our while. Hello, Charcuterie Cat. How you doing? Hopefully you're doing well today. Let's go to the trader anyway to see what the options look like. Alternate outcome night. Your presence seems unnoticed. An opportunity to steal. So far, so good. Glad you're doing well. Let's try to see about getting away with stealing. The theft succeeded. Your pocket's full of coin. Sometimes bad things happen without the Abyss's involvement. We also got the Felix Felicius. Accuracy minus is 8, critical chance plus 5, doesn't get critical hits. What? Does that mean you can't critically hit, or does that mean you can't be critically hit? I could see either or. We did get stuck with a Seal of Decay on our Griffin, though, because of us doing a bad deed. You know, of course we get punished for our misdeeds, that makes sense. Let's see, purple will be useful to us, so let's go this way. It's another bone hand, we'll go ahead and pull the thing out of its hand. It's another Valkyrie ointment. Restores 10% of maximum energy and ignores injury. Yeah, you know, we're doing what we gotta do to get through this. Alternate outcome, there's an entity in the squad with the passive ability Hatred. Your companion, without hesitation or remorse, snapped all the fingers off the hand. The item is now yours. This came out yesterday, I think it was. And it's basically a creature collector in a very dark, screwed up world that's been consumed by what's referred to as the Abyss, which causes everything to get cursed. Most of the creatures living in this world are controlled by said Abyss and are incredibly hostile to everybody. But by discovering these scrolls, humanity's learned to take control of some of said entities and fight back. So that's what we're doing. We're one of the handful of scouts that are entrusted with such a task. We can go ahead and get some energy back for our Griffin from this, so let's go ahead and just feed you that. It's not a ton of health, but it'll help you along a little bit. So we're trying to train him up, as he'll become a better creature in another 8 levels. On that note, let's go get into another fight. Can't get experience if we don't fight. A unicorn. No, I guess that is a horn. It almost looked like an ear at a glance, but I guess that is the horn. Problem is, he only has 4 uses of his attack left. So we're gonna have to use the stamina potion on him here shortly. Otherwise, he's not gonna be able to fight anymore without draining a lot of his health. We're actually gonna go ahead and switch him out now. He'll get diminishing returns if he keeps using the same move too many times. Oh, we got a defense down as soon as we came in, though. Ooh, minus 35. Yikes. Well, we get to try our new move, though. We only get 1 use of it, but now is as good a time as any to learn. Guaranteed set him on fire, but turns out it gave us concentration, it gave us precision strikes, so our next attack's a guaranteed crit, and we get 30% magic damage, so now would be a great time for a fireball. Perfect. Just really rip him up good, and then the burn takes him out. Level 8 for our Griffin. I would be bringing more entities out with me, but we're unfortunately locked to only having 2 on our team at the moment. And by virtue of us not being experienced enough to have the remaining squad choices. We have a bunch more of them in storage, we just can't bring them out. Yeah, none of this is really particularly going to be useful to us. We have a hunger event where we could use our provision to get some health back. At the very least, let's put that stamina potion on him before we get into another random fight. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to attack. And I want to have him keep front running for a little bit longer to get him a bit more experience. Yeah, let's risk the hunger. We'll eat our snack, get 10% health back, reduce the abyss distortion, which basically causes a string of negative effects as the curse gets stronger. It is a bit rough. Also, if anybody is at all interested in the game, there's the page for it, because I was given the key in order to advertise the game, so there you go. It is currently available on Steam, as you might imagine. So let's go ahead and long rest up here so we have the option of going the other way. The grueling journey has exhausted you completely. Amidst the curse's stench, you find a relatively safe and quiet campsite. A leaky tent, a smoldering fire, and a cold sleeping bag. You couldn't ask for more now. Everything's ready for sleep, with some spare time remaining. We can either sleep early, look around, or meditate. I'm gonna go ahead and meditate, because I feel like that's a better idea. Meditation brought mental clarity. The night passed with peaceful dreams. Defeated entities have recovered. A random undefeated entity receives a seal of flourishing. We did only get 5% health back. I feel like if we slept early, we probably would have gotten more health. But we probably wouldn't have reduced the abyss distortion, and we wouldn't have gotten the seal. And the seal of flourishing went on Ignisurge, which is good because he is my powerhouse, but I would have rather it go on the Griffin in order to remove the Seal of Decay, because the seals cancel each other out. It would have been very convenient. We know Withering Fields aren't very useful to us. Let's try the random. It's another fight. Well, not ideal, because we're gonna have to fight a cursed opponent, which is basically a opposing entity trainer when we get to the end here. And running out of moves is gonna be real bad. I was hoping we'd get some move charges back. You're also a Flora type, so I should actually bring Ignisurge out straight away. Because not only will he take less damage from Flora ejection, he'll deal more damage with Fireball. So it'll make our life a little easier. He's also just stronger than our Griffin right now in general. He is getting chewed up pretty good regardless, though, which could be a problem. Because that's going to make us much weaker for the cursed fight. But it was our safest way for getting through that. And as you saw, if multiple people are out in a fight, they both get experience. Just they split the experience. So you can switch train. Let's go ahead and heal you back up as best I can. We're not going to symptoms because that's going to have negative benefits. Astet. Since the Abyss came, animal populations dwindled faster than humanity's. Spotting one is rare. You've never seen a cat before. Tales describe them as fluffy and naive, but the feline before you clearly isn't. Its piercing gaze speaks of harsh survival experience. It silently followed you for a while, occasionally rubbing against your legs, then departed. This brief but pleasant encounter lifted your spirits. Alternate outcome: squad contains entity of type normal. Understanding animals is valuable. They always know safe paths. One less abyss distortion and the next random path is easy. Good. So we have an easy path over here, which will give us 2 passive health restorations, so that actually works out. We'll get our health basically back to full before this encounter. We're gonna be in a bit of a bind as far as attack charges go, but we're just gonna have to make it work. Because we're gonna have to fight 2 opponents here. Oh, here we go. I should have changed his gear because the muzzle doesn't help against non-wild opponents. We got a Ghost Hunter here. It absorbs stat reductions from effects except wild, which it can't be affected by. It deals extra damage to things it's type advantaged against. It has a space scarf, so all damage increasing effects are more effective. And it has greed. 3% magic and physical attack. Bonus is tripled if any gem is equipped, which thankfully doesn't have a gem. And its friend looks to be some kind of tree. So we'll probably use Griffin up entirely against the Ghost Hunter and then hope for the best with Ignis Surge against the Tree Man. Shadow Ball. Backstab's still not very effective, but we unfortunately don't have our aspect because of the seal we have on us, so that's just unfortunately where we're at right now. The fact that defeated entities can be revived makes me a little bit less worried about having him just take the damage and get taken out here. Okay, you've got Bronze Fang as well. Yeah, we're gonna deal less damage here, but I'm just gonna throw everything he's got out at the enemy here. And I'm pretty sure he just goes down from exhaustion here, but try his best. Yep. He's just taken out. Your fighter's been defeated. The energy reserve is depleted, making it impossible to continue the fight in this state. A substitution must be made. In the event of a forced substitution, no turn is skipped. Additionally, Abyss Distortion increases by 2 in an injuries incurred, reducing all healing by 30%. That's why I didn't want to keep letting them get taken out in order to trade them out. But in this situation, I needed the turn to not be wasted. To give us the best shot at winning this as we can get. Because I don't know what happens when we lose completely, and I'd rather not find out. And now we've got a good amount of charges to take out the tree thing here. Oh yeah, just straight up is an end. Okay. And it is Flora like I expected, so we do have type advantage here. Sunny, if day restores 4% of maximum energy pool on a crit, resistance 5. It has greed as well. It's got a whip, which has a 15% chance to inflict madness and pain for 2 rounds when dealing physical damage. 10% extra damage to targets afflicted with madness. And then the Mask of Madness. Critical attack chance plus 4, 4% max energy pool on crit. So it's got 2 different things that'll heal it for 4% when it crits, and it's got increased crit chance. Oh, this is awful. This is very, very awful. Thankfully, we do have damage advantage, and he has a damage disadvantage. We just gotta hope that he doesn't roll a crit too often. Oh, he has Stone Throw, which is not... we lose, actually. We just straight up lose unless he misses. Wait, he missed! I can't believe we actually got the dodge right when I said all we needed was a dodge. 5% victory. 5 health, rather. Oh, boy. So, to point out, 4% evasion chance. We had a 4% chance to not be hit by that unless that move had, like, negative accuracy or something. Never punished. Never fucking punished. Let's get out of here before the game changes its mind. Whew. We could upgrade the herbalist, but we really, really need that storage space so I can get more for entities. Look around brings a random scroll. Interesting. Let's go ahead and reduce the market prices since we have the material to do that and not much else. Okay, the next upgrade gets more product. That's unfortunate, but that price reduction is worth it. Unfortunately, I don't really want most of these items. The Moment of Fortune is pretty nice, but... I mean, I guess it is better than the reduced damage for every missing equipment slot, so I can just slap on more equipment without feeling like I'm taking a penalty. And we could afford to get that and a full set of provisions, so sure, we'll grab that and replace the dull ring with that. So now we have increased resistance, critical chance, accuracy, and evasion. It's only by a tiny amount, but it's a guaranteed, always available tiny amount. Grab a full set of provisions again. We still have plenty of scrolls. As you can see, we now have 3 more slots in here. These guys are going to get so far left behind, though. Sitting in storage is going to be the problem. But I'm committed to the idea of getting this Griffin leveled up because he's the fastest thing to evolve out of the choices. I just think he's not that great right now, so I'm not sure if he's going to get that much better when he evolves. He does at least get Weak Spot in 5 more levels. You know what, maybe that's not that great. We'll get Fire Bite in 4 levels, which isn't too bad there, and we do at least have 3 moves with Ignisurge to make up for the lack of improvement. Our alternatives would be this guy here, Soft Paw, who would gain another move in 4 levels, but it's the same backstab we already have on the Griffin, which only has 2 charges, and then he'd take a while to get Weak Spot. So he's not really that much better. And then the bird over here, 1 more level he'd get Charge Strike, which does at least have 3 charges, so he'd have a total of 10 moves. Quick Attack, which has 4 charges, would be 7 levels later. And then Supersonic Attack. Yeah, he just takes they all take too long to gain more moves. Really does feel like you just have to be super careful how many fights you take in this game. Which is fair. Why did that sound so loud? One sec, y'all. I heard a door real close, and I want to make sure somebody's not coming back unexpected or something. One momento. The downsides to living in a fairly quiet neighborhood and playing something fairly quiet. Sounds like a car door closing can echo way further than you think they do. Okay, now we can access the Swamp of Oblivion and get the training sword for succeeding. That'll get me a lot of material. It's either that or I go back to Fetid Pass or Great Forest to train up just a little bit more. We are above the level of the enemies, at least with Ignisurge, and we're at their level with Griffin. So I think it'll be okay, and there's also no Cursed. And the path's not that long. Yeah, that should be fine. And we have room to catch some of the stuff we find here, which may work out. Each boss level has unique challenge. Oh. Abyss Chosen Influence. 10% chance to ignore passive recovery. Well, piss. This is a boss level. So there's a Chosen of the Abyss at the end here. So technically the game, I guess, lied to us a little bit. Unless the Chosen of the Abyss is a creature, not a cursed. We'll find out. This is past where we stopped in the demo. So I have no idea what I'm getting into now. Well, you know what? On the note of we can catch these things, let's take a fight straight off the bat. We get a red grub, which is just a fire grub. Well, no, I don't think I need that. It may evolve into something better, but I don't know that. And I'd rather not take up space with just a grub that is the same flavor as something I already have. I would rather get more types. Though it is pretty strong, considering it nearly took out the Griffin straight away. So that's a little spooky. Alright, good night, ABC. Abyssal gift or a chest? Let's take the chest. We got a void shard, a scroll, and some money. Alright. I already looked at the boss challenge game. You can make that tooltip go away. Okay. Void shard. Oh, they go down there. Spark of primordial energy. Whoever unites all the fragments will receive the blessing of the void. Neat? Question mark? Let's go ahead and put Ignis Surge up front for the moment here. See if we can get an opportunity to get some passive recovery for Griffin before we do anything else. And since we're not using the other ring, I should probably put some gear on you guys. Let's go ahead and increase your evasion. Since you got really lucky with that evade, let's double your evasion and see if something good happens. He says, fully knowing that that's probably not going to matter. Actually, no. No. Give him the muzzle for the moment since he's going to be running out in front against the wild enemies. Let him get the damage reduction for now. And we'll give you the soldier's manual and... Actually, what's your evasion like? 5% already? You should have the Haku horn then. Is that... No, that still puts you to 8% as well. Does neither of them have any character or genetics that affect evasion? So I think actually the horn's useless then. Let's actually give you the Felix Felices and see if that works out. Because his whole thing is aiming for crits anyway. Symptoms. The Abyss's influence tests bodies severely. Vomiting, headaches, aches are normal here. Alternate outcome day. The scorching sun worsens your condition. You would ordinarily think day would be a benefit in a situation like that, but no. Fuck you and your hopes and dreams. Let's go down here. Oh, we found a hive. Perfect. A strange structure that we've read all about before. We have a lockpick. Found additional coins in locked cabinets. And we got the Berserker's Madness. 10% physical attack damage, speed and accuracy +1, and physical defense -4. And then we have a fight. Ooh, a shadow. Surprisingly, for what it looks like, it's not a ghost type, it's a Jin type, which also kind of fits the way it looks. It has absorption, it has envy. Inflicts anger for 1 round if the opponent applies the effect to themselves after an attack. And it gains an extra chance for 2 rounds if any gem is equipped. It's got Outcast. We'll try to catch this. This seems interesting. It's got Shadow Ball as usual. Oh yeah, by the way, the ceiling also does make them weaker. I did say goodnight, 8ABC. Did you break your audio or something? Because I definitely said that. Am I the crazy one? Is my audio broken? Looks like I'm talking just fine. Sure. The world may never know. Either way, I'll just say it again then, just in case. Good night, ABC. Yeah, with him weakened by the scroll, we should be okay here. But still, we'll go ahead and hit Flash first. That's what I figured. This would not be the first time nor the last time ABC doesn't hear something. Ooh, wow, that was a really good hit. We should be able to just bite and end this fight. There we go. And Sealing Ritual failed. Our first one that we didn't catch. I should have thrown an extra scroll at it for certainty. Road to nowhere. Great. That seems fine. This stone seems so familiar. Everything resembles a skipping record, repeating the same fragment. The treacherous abyss clouded minds created an illusion of an endless road. We can attempt to dispel it or just ignore it. Let's go ahead and attempt to dispel it. You knew only one way to break the cycle, pain. The squad engaged in desperate infighting, hoping to clear their minds. It worked, the illusion lifted, but this path is best avoided hereafter. The next random path is unavailable. We added to Abyss Distortion and took some damage for that. So we can't actually go to the Hunger Path, which is not where I was going anyway. We'll go see the Lonely Genius. The smell of welding led to a concrete booth draped with cables. Inside, among fantastic devices, stood a man with a metal arm. No glorious warrior, he fought the abyss in his own way, crafting military equipment. His latest invention, a sealing orb to replace inefficient scrolls. He requests borrowing one of your entities to test it. You know what? Sure, what could possibly go wrong? The scientist selected a candidate and hurled a fist-sized red orb. It unfolded, sucking the entity inside. The trap trembled briefly before exploding to free its captive. Failure, but it will work someday, he sighed, handing you a compass. Take this in gratitude and apology. So we took an injury from that, but Luck's wind has increased significantly, and we gained a bunch of scouting. Oh great, it was the Griffin too that got the injury, so he's just in shambles. That's what you want to have happen right now. When we're almost to our fight. But we do have a long rest ahead. Let's just sleep early. See about getting as much back as we can. Seizing this rare moment of peace, you went straight to sleep. Proper rest greatly improved your physical condition. It also reduced the abyss distortion a little bit. Got rid of the injury and healed us a little bit. He's still not healed that much. Let's avoid the fight over here. Because we need all the health we can get. Fight what we're going to be fighting, probably. And we'll restore Ignis Surge's moves. So he has flashback available. Oh, it's just a pure calm. Convenient. Another brave soul seeking answers. We're just a fool trying to escape the abyss's embrace. You came here of your own will, so why do your eyes brim with fear? Worry not if you made it this far, the abyss has deemed you who belong here. I do not know why it led you here, but I know your purpose. My diary? Do you truly believe it holds answers? Fools, it will only breed more questions. The abyss whispers to everyone, the answer's already there. But you're too foolish to understand them. It always feels, it always knows what's best. I suppose the mistress no longer needs me, so here you are, executioner. If my path must end, I'll savor this last battle to the fullest. That's what I figured. They've got an Ent, and I think that's the spider. So literally we're just doing the same fight we just did with that cursed in reverse. We also didn't get flash back, which is unfortunate. It's only got an abyssal ring though. 10% extra magical and physical attack, accuracy, evasion, critical chance, and 2 more speed. You know what it can't deal with though? Fireball still. It's still just as flammable. Yeah, go ahead and hit me with Grass Claw. That's perfect. Just keep hitting me with that. Ow, not a critical stone throw. No. Wrong. Bad. Enemy fighter has been defeated. The energy reserves depleted. This is your opportune moment to replace your fighter without skipping a turn. We are very badly injured, so let's switch to the Griffin and let him fight as long as he can. And against the spider. This pairing did not work out great last time, and we don't have that many attacks yet again for the Griffin. So I feel like he's gonna lose this, but it is what it is. He'll be able to at least get some work done and hopefully set us up for victory. Yeah, he's not gonna live long enough to run out of moves, so that's actually not that bad a thing. We just have to be able to survive to hit twice, which with the amount of health we have left, that doesn't look great. Ooh, he landed that hit first. He is faster than us, so I think we lose here, actually. Yep, we lose. Our first loss. Game over. The abyss seeps into the depths of your mind, clouding all thoughts with its call. Today, the cursed army gained a new puppet. So you just straight up lose. You actually load the game if you fail. Yikes. So all of that progress we just made going into that area, wasted. All of it got thrown away because we lost. Yikes. Okay, we gotta do some extra training. Because that fight was nasty. So let's go back to the Fetid Pass again. Oh, interesting. We can get a short break at the start of the trip. Let's not do that. Let's go visit the broken puppet. Let's see what happens if we go around it this time. The incident recalled times when violence wasn't the only solution. The deeper these memories pull you, the harder reality becomes to accept. Wow, you just don't win no matter what you do. The next random path is unavailable, and you get to Abyss Distortion. I should've just fought the damn thing. But we get a chest, so that's not too bad. Stamina potion, scroll of ethereal bonds, and some money. Into another fight. Excuse me. We will switch out for this because of type of effectiveness, rather. We won't worry about using Flash here because we already have effective attacks. We probably won't need it. We'll save it for later. Which, if I hadn't used Flash early in the previous run, we probably would have won that fight too, because Flash would have allowed me to kill the Ent faster, which would have meant we didn't take as much damage. Now Ignisurge is in shambles already, which is not great. But we got a double passive recovery over here. But we got struck by lightning a bit. Oh, and it's another fight. God damn it. Oh, it's just a soft paw, though. That's not too terrible. Oh, of course he dodged, though. Of course he dodged. It's not even like a reduced accuracy attack, I don't think. We just got unlucky. See if this backstab lands. Nope, neither backstab landed. Is this a reduced accuracy attack? Am I stupid? Well then. To think I said this thing wasn't going to be a problem, and yet here it is, dodging all of his strongest attacks and just chewing him up. Sometimes I gotta just not say things. I almost feel like I have to switch out here. Just because we're going to be at such a disadvantage. But I think the damage reduction is still going to be more important. It's going to take literally every tackle he has to defeat this. Which is what sucks here. That basically means Griffin's going to be useless from here forward. Or until we can get some charges back. Which I can use the stamina potion for that, but... burning a stamina potion this early feels bad. I do have 2 of them, actually, so maybe it's not so bad. The health situation's worse, if anything. Oh yeah, we never fixed the equipment in this reality. There we go. Let's actually go actively trigger hunger, because that'll let us heal. There we go. We're a little bit better off. And then we get a long rest as well, and a passive recovery moment. We're actually doing pretty good. We'll go ahead and meditate, because the benefit of that was nice. Nice. It went on an Ignisurge, so he'll be in better shape. In fact, since he takes a benefit from the life elixir, no, it doesn't go away, so we'll just hold. And we get into another fight. God damn it. Now there's a turtle. Which is water type, so we need to not have Ignisurge be here right now. Goodbye. Because if he throws a water attack out, which he did, that was gonna ruin my whole day. You now have 2 hits of madness on you, which gives you a chance to lose a turn, huh? You also don't have many attacks even after the stamina potion. I'm gonna go ahead and weaken this thing, though. Because we don't have a water type yet. Let's go ahead and seal it up a bunch. Unfortunately, even with the stamina potion, I don't think the Griffin's gonna be able to take this on his own. Which is wild, considering he was doing fine before, and now he just suddenly can't do anything in this trip. Yep, he got outsped. God damn it. The pain was just enough to make him get outsped. I should have looked at the numbers. That's on me. And a 60% chance to catch that turtle failed. Just everything's falling apart now. Incredible. I'm gonna take a chance on the random event because the abandoned backpacks don't really help. Bonfire. A smoldering fire, food remnants, and a leaning tent, but no one around. The abandoned campsite seems suspicious, vacated too hastily. Yet careful inspection reveals no traps. A good opportunity to rest briefly. Okay, we healed a little bit. I may as well heal Ignisurge more and, like, get him the rest of his attack charges back because we're about to go fight the final fight here. Oh, boy. We're in shambles, though. Let's not go the red path, because red does not allow passive recovery. Thornus and a teddy bear. Well, this is a Florazin, so we can at least do extra damage to it, so we should just full commit here, clear him as quick as we can, and hope that we can clear the next fight. Oh, wow. Almost killed him in one go. That's actually gonna make my life way easier. So, Bite is not effective, so we have to hit him with another Fireball. Teddy bears thankfully aren't that strong, but this one might be nasty considering it is a higher level. And it has a bunch of gems. It's got a volcano heart, an emerald, and a widow's kiss, so it's slower at least. And with a bite, okay, we deal 47 and he only does 25. We have 62 health left though. This is gonna be dicey. I think we win, though. I think we win. Yeah, he's down to 16. We got it. Okay. Barely got it, but we got it. Oh. Oh, there's a level limit, huh? Yikes. The entity has reached its maximum controllable level. It cannot gain more experience until you improve your mastery level. So we can't even evolve the Griffin yet anyway. Oh, that's so mean. That's information that would have been good to have, video game. And since you also gain diminishing returns from repeated excursions. Oof. This really sucks. I think I might have somewhat set myself up for failure here. Just by virtue of the fact that I chose something that's not that great in order to try to evolve it, but I can't evolve it. And I'm betting we have to defeat that Abyss's Chosen in order to increase our mastery level. Almost certainly. Oh, that's mean. And at the rate we're going, we're gonna run out of money to buy provisions. But we have to basically keep buying a full set of provisions every time or we're in trouble. I think I might just have to try the Chosen fight again. Now that we've gained a level. And just hope I can make it work this time and just like have better RNG or something. And I think part of our plan here is going to have to be avoiding fights until we get to the Chosen. Because we did have some misfortune real early on in this one. Going on that thought, let's just take the short break straight away. Sure, it increases the distortion, but it gets us a little bit of extra health off the top. Let's risk the Abyssal Gift so we can try to go up and over and around this entity. A cloaked figure blocked your path. Clearly corrupted, yet still in control. Please open one, it rasped, offering 2 caskets. Sure, let's open one randomly. Why not? Alternate outcome, luck. You open the more appealing casket. Inside, a small light dissolved into the air, leaving calmness behind. The stranger left silently. You take 2 Abyss Distortion. Luck's wind has decreased significantly. A random undefeated entity receives a Seal of Flourishing, which is once again Ignisurge. It just loves giving a starter those Seals of Flourishing, and I'm fine with that. We do only have entity or entity to deal with here, though, so that's unfortunate. Let's go ahead and put Ignisurge out front, since he has the seal that reduces the damage he takes. And Griffin really doesn't have that many moves, so it's better to have him out front, probably. Because otherwise Griffin's going to be made useless rather quickly again. Luminous Grub doesn't take that many levels to evolve, if I remember right, and he is a medium type. Sure, let's try to snag you. I know I passed him up before because he's not that interesting, but at this point, beggars can't be choosers. And we'll at least take him out pretty fast. And we sealed him, so we got a level 7 Luminous Grub. We got a Lonely Genius again. We did get an injury the last time we dealt with him. Let's try it again, though. Worst case, we get another injury, right? Right. And it did exactly the same thing again. I should have just grabbed the monocle then. I was hoping to see if we could actually get lucky and get the other result, because presumably there is another result that can happen here. And Griffin's injured again. Got a broken puppet and some symptoms. Well, we know that we can bypass the broken puppet, even though we'll take more Abyss Distortion, which is going to disable our passive recovery, which could be really bad. It's either that or symptoms, and symptoms hurt us a bunch last time. So I think this is still the better choice. But we have to take the deal with the devil now. A tall, horned figure claiming to be the true god's envoy says he guards an occult ritual's ancient secret, promising vast wealth. His price? Just a few drops of your blood. Get a load of that face. God damn. I mean, we're already up the creek, right? What could possibly go wrong if I make a deal with the devil now? The stranger cut your palm, placing an empty sack in it. As he chanted it in an unknown tongue, the pain intensified while the sack grew heavier. Exactly, something hail Satan. The ritual left a festering wound and a sack of valuables. We got greed, a void shard, some money, a material. We did get a seal of decay on somebody, and we did lose 10% health. And Griffin is in shambles, because everything bad keeps happening to him. But now we have greed. Physical and magical attack plus 3%, and the bonus is tripled if a gem is equipped. Which, wouldn't you know it, the magma stone is a gem. That's definitely better than the moment of fortune for us, so there we go. 9% physical and magical attack for Ignisurge, and 3% for Griffin. That'll help. Won't help a ton, but it'll help. Let's go ahead and sleep early to get some health back. And that gets rid of Griffin's injury, at least. Not that the injury matters that much, because we're not going to be healing Griffin in this situation. We only have the path leading here. And it's another fight. Great. But it's just a Jaws. Okay, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. We just burn it to death and move on with our lives. This could be a lot worse. Though we are going to take a bunch of poison damage. Of course you survived with fucking 4 health left. Burn, cringe creature. Well, this could be more awkward than I thought then. His Ignisurge is only gonna have 99 health. Well, Griffin, you're gonna have to carry be the start of this fight. The muzzle's useless because they're not gonna be wild, so don't even bother with that. Last time they had something that applied madness, so let's actually give you the foil hat and see if that works out for you. You are missing a bunch of charges of your attacks, Ignisers, so take that. Well, here we go again. Yes, yes, blah, 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 blah. Fight me. Okay, it is the same team arrangement, so this might actually have been a bad idea to have Griffin out first. I may have been better off having the Ignisurge cook the Ent. But the Spider also just tore Griffin up last time. Nice crit. Okay. This might be okay. Can you do it again? No. But 35's not bad. He is taking more damage than Ignisurge would, but he is going to be able to take the Ent down. Especially if he keeps dodging like that. Unfortunately, we are going to hit diminishing returns here, but he is going to take the Ent and be able to take the next one. I don't... Oh, he does only have 8 health left. We may as well just keep him out. Let him get one hit in if he can before he goes down. So I think he's outsped again here. Yep. So that was pointless. It wouldn't have mattered either way, though. The Griffin would have lost that fight one way or the other. Oh, and you're faster than him, too. Well, let's get our guaranteed crit and hope that that does a good amount. 82, all right. Let's see if we can get some pain on him to slow him down. Well, we set him on fire. And we win. Barely, but we won. That one level made the difference. Just barely scraped through that. Now to limp home again. Training sword, 80 money, and 14 material. Good God. You claim to have encountered an infected who not only controlled their body and mind, but also drew power from the abyss? We've never faced anything like this before. A shame the witch is beyond questioning now. Let's hope the diary holds answers. It'll take time to study. Meanwhile, there's another issue demanding attention. A forester reported a mutant prowling nearby. Normally they avoid settlements, but this one strayed into the local woods and is disrupting lumber operations. Eliminate the mutant, and the forester can deliver a major shipment of materials. Team limit. Your combat experience has elevated you to a new level of mastery. The troop limit has increased, allowing you to control more entities. Like I said, that fight was going to be pivotal. I had a feeling. So let's see, that Luminous Grub, yeah, it evolves at level 11. And I presume now that my mastery level's gone up, yeah, you'll notice we don't have an exclamation point there. We can probably evolve this Luminous Grub. The Thornus, if we had one, would evolve night or day at level 19 into 2 different options. Yeah, all the various grub flavors evolve at 11. So I presume the red one would too. We lost that information because we lost that run. So I guess I'll take the Luminous Grub with us. He's only level 7, but he does at least have 2 moves, so he actually has 16 charges between his 2 moves, and he'll gain another 10 in charge move. So actually, he's really good. Like, he's got solid health because of his genetics. And even though his stats are kind of like, his tackle's gonna be kind of garbage. And Spike Shot's not going to do a ton of damage, he will still be able to poison things and take advantage of that, at least. It would definitely be worth trying to fish for a Luminous Grub with better genetics than that. But we'll take what we can get, because that's what we have. We can make a fancy item with the blacksmith. We could get better herbalist recovery. We could get a free consumable at the beginning of every outing. That does seem like a good idea. Less Abyss Distortion isn't really that exciting. Extra experience per battle isn't a bad idea, but I feel like in the scope of what we're dealing with here, we don't need that, nor do we want that. I think I'll take the special item. We got leather gloves from the blacksmith. Yes, because that's what blacksmiths make, right? They make leather things? Totally. Physical and magical defense +3, critical hit chance, and accuracy if any weapon is equipped in the other slot. We do have the training sword, so that does work. In fact, actually, that's perfect for the Griffin, because he does normal type attacks. The Griffin might actually be back in business here. So let's put that the other way around. I like it better the other way around. Armor and then weapon. But as far as what to do for the grub, I'm not really sure what to do for him. Probably just give him the wild protection and... What's your dodge like? Only 4, huh? Take your foil hat. And we'll have him be out front because he's the lowest level, so he needs to be out there getting experience. Hint, he'll probably also be getting his ass kicked, but that's part of the task here. We do have enough to upgrade the Soul Vault again, so we can actually still get the look around bonus. There we go. Unfortunately, that didn't net us any extra space. The next upgrade is where we get the next space, but it does give us extra gold as well, so that's good. Eliminate the mutant in Darkwood. Well, let's buy some stuff and then head off on our next adventure, I guess. We are still carrying... I think just... Yeah, we only have 1 scroll, so let's grab another couple scrolls. The Blood Oath... Bonus is tripled if energy is above 50%. That is basically the same as Greed, except it is more commonly going to be active until I get some more gems. Which we could buy the Volcano Heart gem, but we can't afford it right now. Interesting. The ashes reduce your accuracy by 5, but increase your physical and magical attack by 5%. It is a 50-50 chance to turn a miss into a crit if you have a dead teammate. You're basically like using your teammate's ashes, I guess, to win the fight. Oh, that's kind of wild. The only thing is, if I buy the Blood Oath, I can't afford to buy a full set of provisions. His 94 will put me down to 9, so all I'd be able to get is like actual provisions, and then no stamina potion, no healing potion. And I think that would leave us devastated, so we're just gonna hold off on Blood Oath for now. And actually, we are gonna pick up the medical kit, because I think that'll be better for Ignisurge than the soldier manual at this point. Because he keeps getting chewed to pieces by poison. That's basically what's been leaving him in shambles like every time, because we keep fighting Jaws, he poisons me, I have to sit here and chew through him until he dies. And then we're left with like no health. That solves that problem completely. And we'll spend some more of the money on buying more scrolls. At least we have money to spare. Alright, so what's Darkwood look like? 8 to 9, 13 steps, 2 cursed with 1 unentity each. We get 25 of material and 75 gold. Or I go off on 1 training mission, because we can't afford enough supplies to recharge after 1 training mission. We can't go back to where we were. The Oblivion Swamp is just gone. We can't go there. We could go to Fetid Pass and get Luminous Grub trained up. Or we just accept the fact that he's going to be a bit under-leveled for going to Darkwood, which is 8 to 9. Honestly, being down like A level might not actually be a disaster. He says, knowing full well that this is going to backfire on him, but science is if we fail completely, we reload anyway. Abyss conventions. The Pillar of the Abyss has fallen, unleashing its fury. A new convention has been unlocked. The second convention. Basic passive recovery reduced by 1%. Breakdown threshold is reduced. I don't know what breakdown threshold meant to begin with. So that's not great. We have a guaranteed fight on our hands, so that's wonderful. Eeny, meeny, miny. Oh, no, there's a broken puppet out of the three. Eeny, meeny, miny, that one. The Dryad, a Flora Jin. Harbinger of the End, Envy, Will to Live, and Wild. Well, let's go ahead and throw some scrolls at you, because you seem very interesting. Oh, you have an effective move, too. Yikes. Right, his Jin beats medium. Let's go ahead and seal you up, though. And even though this is not going to be that oh no, 0% chance to poison because they're Flora. You could get them with an infection, but that's not what we need here. Let's just tag you out for Griffin. Kenai and Mirage. Mirage minus 100 accuracy, huh? Yikes. That was a guaranteed miss. I feel like Griffin might not have been the right choice here. But he's at least getting the work done, and I don't burn Ignisurge's health immediately. There we go. Do we get it? Nope, 60%, and the sealing ritual still failed. I feel like I should just be trying the 30%. Every 60% we've done, basically, has failed other than the grub. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. It's like they're inverted or something. Let's go this way. Carnival Fairies. The first lights flickered in the air, soon followed by a swarm of fireflies. They danced through darkness, leaving soft glows like living night sky. One stood out, larger, glowing with warm golden light like a tiny star. We can either grab the special firefly or observe it. Let's just observe. Your weary eyes made the show feel endless. Suddenly the special firefly departed, its kin extinguishing and falling to earth. Darkness consumed this path. I guess I should have grabbed him. I figured it would have been a bad thing to grab the fairy. 1 Abyss Distortion, minus 15 scouting, and a random path is unavailable. Okay, that was the one I probably wasn't going to go to anyway. We'll go to the crate. Break open the crate. And we got a scroll to replace the ones I wasted. And that's about it. Well, this is just really unfortunate across the board, huh? We can reduce our Abyss Distortion if we go this way, but then we'll have no recovery. So let's go the other way. And it's another fight. Which is a Bognot. It's another fire type, though. It's adaptive. Really just finding nothing but things that the Luminous Grub's no good against. Poison him anyway. You didn't manage to poison him. Try again. There he goes, now he's poisoned. Unfortunately, you're in shambles now, so let's trade you out for Ignisurge, because at least fire versus fire, we can just use Bite to win this. And the poison damage will give us an edge. We'll go ahead and try to catch this thing. Even though it seems to only have fire moves, and we do already have a fire type. I'm doing it as much to weaken him as it is to catch him on this particular instance. Nope, sealing ritual failed. I kind of figured. But on the bright side, Luminous Grub gained a level. We do need to move him off the front, though, or he's just going to die. But now he has Mind Hack, so he finally has a medium move. So he can actually use his type correctly. We'll have our first cursed fight coming up. Oh good, a moment of calm. Passive recovery once. Boosted passive recovery there. Let's see what we're dealing with. Why is it always this damn spider? Oh wait, isn't Ghost weak to medium? Yes, Ghost is weak to medium. Thing is, he only has 55 hit points. I don't think that's working out. Because the spider hits so damn hard. You did cut his health in half, though, so that's good. And there's the level disadvantage to keep in mind, too. You'll win this fight. It's rough and he barely wins it, but he does win it. Which unfortunately does deprive the grub of the experience, but his experience would have been dying, so it would not have helped much of anything. We do have provisions, so we can go long rest, hunger, or to heal with a passive recovery and then move around from there. We definitely have a lot of healing to do. I don't trust the berry bush. That seems like a trap. Okay, everybody's back in reasonable shape. In the interest of getting Luminous Grub some levels, let's take this fight. You remember, though, we were told there was 2 cursed on this route. We only saw 1, and then the rest are question marks. One of 2 things then has to be true. Either these are all cursed, or that's accursed. And we can also take in mind the information right here that Abyss Distortion is reduced by a fight with a mutant or cursed. So a mutant is probably a variant of cursed. So we're probably going to have to deal with something that's controlling entities. But I'm going to take the fight anyway, even though it may not be a good idea. Oh great, it's Luminous Grub versus Luminous Grub. Okay, he went for tackle first, so we get the immediate advantage there. Mind Hack's gonna be useless here. But he's gonna waste his time and energy using it. So that works out perfectly for us, because he should die to poison. Oh no, he did not die to poison, but he'll die to the second spike shot. There we go, nothing but experience for the grub, and he's at level 9 now. He's at level for the area now, so he's much better off than he was. Let's not take the box, because we'll just take injury from that. Oh, there's just an entity there. Not accursed. Let's take that and not risk the other ones being either accursed or something else that's gonna drain our health. Oh, it's a griffin. We already have one of those, so... Ow. Mind Hack. Mind Crush. Ow, backstab. I knew the grub was gonna die there. I didn't really have a ton of choices. And I don't really favor the idea of Griffin versus Griffin here. Just because of the simple fact that Griffin doesn't have enough moves. There we go. We just burn some bites, kill him off. The good news is the dead do gain experience. So we got that going for us, but now we are presumably fighting the mutant. Oh, the mutant is a form of entity. Okay. It's a mime. Dijin mutation, which makes it stronger. 150% experience for victory. Neat. It does have a ton of health, though. I should have used the stamina potion before going in here. I forgot that Griffin was out of moves. I thought he was just low on moves. I should have looked. And we cannot seal a mutant. Shitfire. Well, you're just gonna have to do what you can. 57 right off the top's not bad. And Holy Breath. And he dodged. Shit. Well, it's a relatively even fight. 175 versus 149. And with Flash, that way we get the boost. Thankfully, one of his attacks is Fireball. Ignis Surge having to save the day once again. We do have a fairly significant health lead here, and I think he'll die on the next hit. There we go. Mime defeated. Level up for the Griffin, bring him 3 levels away from gaining his evolution into hopefully being useful. But we lost 2 out of 3 of our guys on that fight, which was rough. Thankfully, they get brought back. You're back. It seems the Forester can rest easy, and we can turn to more pressing matters. I've studied the witch's diary you retrieved. It was a true ordeal. Every page felt like poison to the mind. The entries are filled with ramblings about a perfect reality, dubious rituals, and intricate designs of magic runes. Yet there are valuable fragments revealing the nature of the Abyss. The corruption doesn't spread on its own. It requires a sentient vessel. But any victim of the Abyss inevitably perishes or loses their mind, becoming a mindless puppet. There's only one way for a host to retain their sanity, to welcome the corruption willingly. This is how the Abyss's chosen came to be, each assigned a role in its propagation. The witch you slew was responsible for the plague and the insect swarms. Only time will tell if the pestilence dies with her, but for the first time in years, farmers weren't fending off locusts from the marshes yesterday. The veil of mystery is lifting. Now we know, the path to purging this world lies in destroying the chosen. We still don't know where to find the others. The diary barely mentions them, save for one name, Lich. The witch wrote of him with contempt, deeming him unworthy of the Abyss's love. Her grudges offer no direct answers, but I pinpointed a few clues that may lead to his hideout. I've briefed a few handful veteran fighters I trust. They've already set out to investigate likely locations. One of these I decided to entrust to you. You've proven yourself and earned your place in this operation. I've marked the location on your map. Should you encounter another chosen, do not engage alone. Return and report to me immediately. I mean, we did take the first one alone just fine, though. You know, I can totally take him. I got this. Beat him up. Show him who's boss. We'll save the day. Let's go ahead and expand what the merchant has to offer us, because we desperately need better stuff. I heard a lab motor for a second and it sounded awful close. Just gonna take a peek out the window. Because the mail should have already come and gone, so it shouldn't be that. Nobody else should be near it. Yeah, just somebody who doesn't know what a muffler is, probably going cruising down the road. Just sounded closer because of where the window is. Our recovery could do with being better. Free consumable, though, I think is better for us. Because that'll help reduce our diminishing returns issue. Ooh, for training. Let's see. We now have the Plague Ring. 20% chance to inflict vulnerability for 1 turn when dealing damage if resistance is greater than the target's. And we can get better scrolls for a 40% chance with the limit 80% instead of a 30. Ooh, an old key that opens golden chests. I'm obviously buying that immediately. And we also could have gotten Fenrir Fur, ignores a third of the opponent's physical and magical defense. That's pretty good. The Broken Sword, which gives you 10% magic and physical attack, but makes you a little slower. And the Sharp Leaf Crown, I think, is also new. Ooh, critical chance +5. Unable to apply the Desire to Surrender effect. I have no idea what that effect even is, so We'll buy a full set of provisions, and we'll grab a couple of fancy scrolls for things that we're actually interested in catching. More interested in catching. And back out we go. So we've got the Ice Palace up here that we need to look at. Or the Ashen Lake first. It's only 8 to 9, which is interesting. It's the same level. There is one cursed out there with three units, though, which is gonna be rough, and it's 14 steps. It's either that or we go back to somewhere we've been, which is really only gonna be Fetid Pass, so we're only gonna be fighting things that are 6 to 7. I think we just carry on, then. The Ice Palace is down there that we need to get to, so we're gonna be trekking through all of this, it looks like. There's a lot of map left to cover. But at the same time, that's actually covering a decent amount of the map in one go. If you think about it. Because presumably we'll have to trek, like, through here. Because I'm betting there's going to be a chosen lair down there. Probably one, like, over here. Probably in this fort over here, actually. There's a village over here that's probably gonna be relevant. This cave. Or this cave over here, perhaps. I don't know if there's gonna be anything down here because your own unit list is gonna get in the way of it. Like, obviously this thing's gonna be important here. Like, there's some obvious landmarks on this map is what I'm getting at. So who knows how much those actually matter. But either way, off we go. Our results are getting better, so I think... Oh, we got a free Valkyrie ointment. Nice. Free consumable already paying dividends. Let's see, we got a short break, a box, and a black mist. Let's go ahead and just bust up the box straight away. Just a little money, huh? Sad. Let's go ahead and take the random. Ooh, Blood Pact. In the cold gloom surrounding a massive horned helm, shadows swirl. They beg you to wear it and become their new lord, promising absolute loyalty and access to their knowledge. This is absolutely a trap, but that is a sick helmet. I'ma put it on. The artifact crumbled to dust at your touch. Freed shadows surged into your body. Horrific pain briefly overwhelmed your mind before fading, leaving behind previously inaccessible knowledge. 4 Abyss Distortion, minus 5% health, 10 and scouting, 15% of events are now revealed. Next random path is easy, and Luck's Wind has strengthened significantly. That was pretty worth it. That hurt, but it was pretty worth it. We'll take the easy path leading to the Black Leaf over here. We'll go ahead and clear the area using our fire, which makes another path easy, and we will go fight the easy path entity. And then we'll probably go to the hive afterwards. The normal unicorn. I have no interest in you because you're normal type. Ignoring the fact that he does have that crack ability, which is pretty useful. Ow. Which he's using to actually kind of really devastate the grub here. But he should have this, I think. He's just gonna end up in rough shape. So we'll probably pull him off the front line after this. He is 1 level away from evolving, though, so that's good. The cat. Let's go ahead and put the Griffin... Now, put Ignis Surge out front, because Griffin just does not have enough attack charges to really do extra fighting. We got a Stamina Potion, some money, and another Berserker's Madness. Not bad, not bad. And what are we fighting here? An Owlbear. It's water type. God damn it. We're gonna try to catch this, though. This seems useful. It's interesting that an Owlbear is water type. We'll go for an 80% seal on this thing. We are gonna take a bunch of damage here, but we should actually be relatively okay. At least we'll start him up by chewing on him with Ignis Surge. He doesn't do much damage. In fact, 1 more bite even reduced should take him. Yeah, there we go. And 80% was a success. We have a water type available now. And Iggy Boy's level 12, which is great for him. Everybody healed a bit. We're gonna hit hunger, which is fine because we have provisions. Defect. Structure flaw curses. Or a box. We've got a campsite coming up soon. Let's see what this does. The Abyss's influence keeps growing. And to strengthen its assault, its puppets erect altars feeding the darkness. One such altar blocks your path, guarded by just 1 entity. A rare chance to disrupt the curse's plan. Sure, let's destroy the altar then. Well-aimed stone toppled the altar, leaving a deep chip. Its guardian erupted in fury and attacked. The next curse will turn into a cultist regardless of Abyss Distortion level. Luck's Wind has increased significantly. Ooh. An electric type. It's just a shell, though. But it's interesting, so you know what? We're gonna try to catch it. Oh, and it's fortifying. Interesting. Well, we'll just play another scroll on it then. Okay, so the fortifies only reduced after an attack. Let's save our flash. We'll just go ahead and fireball him a couple times. And then we'll waste a bite even though he'll be protected from it. He'll go down after 2 fireballs. Down he goes. Did we get him? Nope, failed. Once again proving that the 60% are a waste of time. We'll go ahead and burn away some more black leaf. That way this path here is easy to get us more healing. We'll sleep early for even more healing. Okay, people are back in business here. We could hit another hive, or we go through Dark Thoughts for an easy path. I'm gonna take the hive. We still have the lockpick, so we get more money, but we have to do another fight. Oh, good, it's grub on grub of combat again. I don't know why they don't go for Spike Shot. Oh, there he goes. And of course, he's the one who gets the poison. Why would I get our poison proc? You need to switch out, or you're going to die. Which is a shame that he's just immediately in that position. Ooh, good crit. Just take him out in one go. So close to getting his evolution. I don't even know if they'll immediately evolve or not, to be fair. Put Griffin out front in case this is an immediate encounter. Safe. Well, it worked out last time when we opened one randomly. We do have a decent amount of luck. Yep, outcome luck. Somebody gets a Seal of Flourishing, and it's Griffin. Okay. But we're gonna have to fight the Cursed with 3 units now. Here's the thing we're gonna do. We're gonna put the Grub out front. Even if he dies, he's going to get experience. And he can at least get a poison hit off or something. Alternate outcome, High Abyss Distortion. The Black Sun Cult, a sect of elite Abyss servants. Unlike common curse, they move gracefully and speak coherently. These warriors are sent on special missions. So he's gonna be way stronger, I presume. He's got a shadow, some kind of crystal thing, and a turtle. So most of his team's water, which is really bad for my best unit being Ignisurge. Unfortunately, Jin beats medium. Get your poison off anyway, hopefully. Nope, you missed. And now you're gonna die, because there's just nothing he could have done there. Go ahead and switch to Griffin. Though Ignisurge might have been a better switch, actually, because of all the water coming up. I also once again forgot to use my stamina potions before coming out here. And I can't use them in combat because I'm stupid. We might actually lose this then. So all of this effort might be for naught. This thing also resists normal, apparently. Why does it resist normal? Normal's not even on this chart. I'm wasting my attacks here, I guess, then. But this is gonna be like a free hit against him. Yeah, I think I just fucked up real bad here. Just across the board. Because this Shadow's gonna fuck me up, and then their next set of units are just gonna wipe me out. Now Ignisurge may as well stay out because he only has 20 health left. Crystallino. He always ground type. He's actually not water, even though he's all covered in crystals. Ground beats electricity, has nothing to do with fire. Okay, that's not the worst, but a basic attack is still gonna kill me. Yep, there it is. And now we got the guy with no moves. So, yeah, we lose. God damn it. Oh, and you got a crit. Great. Great. That's what I needed to see right now. Well, you didn't die yet, but you're gonna die now unless you dodge a lot. Hey, look, you didn't dodge because it's precision strike, which can't miss. Yeah, I think we are gonna have to do some grinding. Luminous Grub, though, is so close to evolving, and Griffin's not far off either. I think if they both evolve, we're gonna be in a really good position. An Ignis Surge needed, what level? 17. So it's only 6 levels away. It's not that far. It's not that close either, but it's not that far. Yeah, you needed 15, and the Grub just needs 11. I just gotta hope to fish out some money on the trip we do. Which I guess is gonna be Fetid Pass. Because that's the highest level area we can redo. And we got the Valkyrie Ointment again. Yeah, no, I just misplayed miserably in that final bit there, because we had so many items I could have used, and I just didn't use any of them, because I'm like, eh, la 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 la, forgetting how any of that worked. That's just completely on me. Great, Jaws, which we are worthless against. Swap out. You do take 48, but you deal back just about the same. And at least he can't poison you. There we go. It's almost a level for our little grub friend. Don't get me wrong, he could have fought it, but it would have been very ineffective. Fuck's sake. And then again, you are immune to poison. Maybe this will be okay, it'll just be slow. So the second he starts biting a bunch, it's gonna become a problem. No, he can be poisoned. Right, because he's not Flora type. Flora types can't be poisoned, but he's not Flora. Right. Oh, back to Ignis Surge then. He tried. And that bite would have been devastating. So as it stands, this is going to leave Ignis Surge in not a great position for the future. One more level, though. One more level and we might get to see an evolution. We got a cave or a question mark. Let's go to the question mark. It's an abandoned backpack, which we did get a lucky coin out of. So that's good. And some exploration. The calm doesn't really help me that much here. Oh great, symptoms. Everybody loses health. Hooray! And then we get a monocle. There's a hive. Yeah, let's get into another fight. Besides, we need the money. Why is this entire path jaw plants? Why is literally everything here just jaws, 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 like a goddamn ocean full of sharks? This sucks, man. This really sucks. Okay, bite's not as devastating as I thought it would be. And you missed. Christ. I really am starting to think that this grub might be doomed to actually, in fact, being useless. His evolution better be fantastic. Because I am trying so hard to make him worthwhile. But if I keep having to bail him out, he's not going to level quickly. Sleep early so we have any health. Yeah, but even at 32, that's just not going to be enough. Actually, we go to the Stalker. The Stalker's a better choice. We train with him and get 20% experience. That'll be more than he was gonna gain out of that fight. Now he needs to be pulled off the front. No, but... Kill him a little bit. Ignis Surge some stamina back. Now, let's save Ignis Surge's remaining moves, though, for the cursed encounter. We need his power. Because there's unfortunately going to be a lot of units in this cursed team. And I found another entity. God damn it. Oh, and it's a unicorn. Great. Something that's going to tank a decent bit, probably. So not if we crit him twice, which we of course didn't. But Griffin's now going to be very, very not helpful for the next fight. He'll tackle a couple of times and then be out. Means I kind of need to use this actually on Luminous Grub just so he's relevant in this encounter. We'll let Griffin take the brunt of things and then go from there. We just gotta hope that this cursed units aren't too great. Okay, he's only got 2. I thought it was 3. That's not that bad then. Normal type abilities are ineffective, busy, sturdy. Hooray. I guess we swap preemptively then. We'll have Ignis Surge take care of this guy. Oh, immediate reduction of my defense. Oh, we may as well just commit then. Just hit him as hard as I can. Okay, you survived 2 stone throws. Take him out. Nope. He'll die to fire, but I'm also dying. So that's an awkward exchange. We'll send you out first because otherwise you'll be in an awkward position. The thing is, this is a water type. That's why I knew I couldn't afford to send Ignis Surge out for this. See about getting poison on him. Good, you poisoned him. Yep, and then he died. That's what I was afraid of. Gets 1 poison out and then he dies. Just gotta hope Griffin can clean this up. So that Ancient does a lot of damage. Ooh, that madness could be an issue. And we got him. Okay. Whew. If that madness procced and lost him that turn, we would have been SOL. It would have been over. Unfortunately, that was not enough to evolve the grub. And all we did was burn resources there for the most part, really. Can I sell items I don't want anymore? No. That would be nice if I could pitch some of this equipment that I don't want. There's genuinely some of this that's just kind of trash. Oh, we do have better healing items now, though. Randomly changes genes. Oh, that actually could be big. Your genetics are your problem. Because it means your tackle kind of sucks. Though it is the only thing meaning you have any real health. Actually, no. Half a hit point per level, and level 10 just means you gained 5 hit points. That's actually kind of garbage. Your genetics are okay. Your magic resistance being down is fine. With your magic attack being up, that's good. Lowered health for you is not great. Resistance up for you doesn't matter. So resistance still sucks. Rolling like a physical attack up genetic for Griffin would be fantastic. But I don't know if it's worth it to me to try to fish for that. The thing is, though, the greater life elixir is actually not worth it unless you expect to have a Seal of Decay. Witcher's Brew is actually a disadvantage. So really the mutagen's the only positive here. But we will buy a mutagen to try to fix somebody here. And I think it is going to be the Griffin, because we're trying desperately to make him useful, and he is struggling. Like, his character's already an issue to begin with. You know what? We had that Spirit Elixir. I should have tried that on him earlier. I forgot that everything in that section disappears. I figured something like a Spirit Elixir would stay. I completely forgot that we wasted that. Okay, he gained magic defense and lost magic attack. He doesn't do magic attack, so that's perfectly fine. That actually helps him a little bit. I still think he's got a less than ideal genetic roll there. I would rather he roll a attack raising genetic like I talked about, because he has Compose, which is reducing his physical attack right now. But that's still better. Because now at least he almost has 200 hit points. Do I spend my money on more mutagen is the better question. Because with how we nearly didn't make it out of that run, I'm not... Oh yeah, I can't buy more mutagen without leaving and coming back anyway. So let's buy a provision and a stamina potion because we desperately need those. And then we're going back out. We're gonna go through Fetid Pass one more time, get Luminous Grub to his evolution, and then we'll figure out what we're doing from there. I may very well wrap up at that point. This way at least we show off one evolution. Is the little bit of scratchy throat is on the edge of being there right now. Sticky. It's just a fire slug, huh? Okay. Like, everything is resistant to Luminous Grub, I swear. Let me get the poison off, which is what I need. Hey there, Celts. How's it going? I don't know if you really want to lick a fish that much, but you know what? You do you. Just to win this fight pretty clean. Ah, of course, of course. Oh, just a tiny bit of experience left. Let's go ahead and go this way. Dark Thoughts. Unfortunate. This way. Abandoned backpack. Time for another fight. Oh, we can get our own Thornus. Excellent. This thing actually seemed pretty interesting, and it levels reasonably early. It levels at 19, which isn't great, but it's not bad. It is type advantage against our little grub boy here. But he'll be weakened by that, so I think it'll be okay. He is Flora, so he can't be poisoned. So I think we just shift him out and have Ignis just take care of it. Perfect timing on that switch. Very good. Hit him with all of the effects we could possibly have gotten out of that, and he is dead. Now, do we catch him? We sure do. And there we go. Luminous Grub is evolving. What are you becoming? Oh god, is it a Metapod situation? Because that really looks like just a chrysalis of some kind that's just gonna sit there and make me sad. Luminous Cocoon. Under certain conditions, level, time of day, equipment, etc., most entities are inclined to evolve. This crucial stage of development significantly alters characteristics, abilities, and even type. Conditions for evolution can be found on the archive. I mean, he looks cool, but I'm concerned that he's gonna be, like, not attacking, like, at all anymore. He now gets Rune of Life at level 14. So 3 levels and he gains that. He still has his same genetics. I think he already had Reckless, so I think that hasn't changed. He now has thick skin, though, so he takes less crit damage, which is good. And he ignores stat reduction from effects, which is good. He really hasn't improved as much as I'd hoped. And we'll need to go to the archive to find out what his next evolution condition is, since I presume he has a third stage. But we may as well pick him up some more experience. Oh hey, the yellow flavor. I mean, we could try to catch it, but we do have an electric type already in the storage. Maybe not. I'm also not super jazzed about the grub so far. Then again, you know what? If you get caught, you get caught. That'll just evolve it to a dead type. We don't need a dead type. Okay, you need to get out of there on the note of dead. Because otherwise, even if he misses, the poison kills him. I mean, that is the point, yeah. And the sealing ritual failed. Marauder, huh? Okay. Let's not have the near-dead guy be at the front anymore. Caravanners are among the few who dare transport goods between sanctuaries. One sat alone by the roadside. Spotting you, hope flickered in his grief-stricken eyes. He explained losing all his guards to the abyss. Alone, he couldn't protect his cargo from marauders. Now he begs you to recover the stolen goods, promising generous reward. Sure. The grateful merchant paid in advance and detailed the marauders' hideout. Well, you would think that if it dies to become a ghost type, that would imply that the ghost is the spirit of it, then where does the body go? There's no body left over when they open the egg, presumably. So it's more likely to be a zombie. But it may also just be that it's a nebulous type assigned to something and its name just happens to be ghost. Ooh, every time you miss, you gain 10% of your health. That could be interesting. And we did get a Seal of Flourishing, but we do have to do a fight. And it's only a unicorn, though. It's just the one. Okay, that's fine. We won't use Flash here because we only get one charge of it, and more often than not, stamina potions don't give that charge back. That defense down over and over again really sucks, but thankfully we got a crit, so the fight's over. 3 more levels and our Griffin will evolve. 5 more levels for Ignisurge. Let's go this way because we'll get an easy path that'll get us extra resting. A little bit. I need Ignisurge's remaining power for the fight over here. Did not bring a heal of a particularly good kind with me, but we do at least have that, so we'll give you that. And we'll wait and see who ends up needing the stamina potion the most. Great, we just lost health again. Thanks, game. The deal with the devil would have cost me health too, though. Why is it always you? Why do we always find you when Griffin's out front? The Ghost Hunter Spider's always been kicking Griffin's ass. We do have a type advantage with the Grub now turned Cocoon, but his health's low. I don't know how well that's gonna work out. His Ghost is weak to Medium, Medium's weak to Jin. It probably isn't worth it because the Ghost Hunter does have non-ghost moves too. We'll just grin and bear it. Great, complete waste of a turn. You love to see it. we are gonna win this time. Griffin has gotten a lot stronger since I changed his genetics to make him less terrible. But he is gonna burn, like, all of his moves here. So he's gonna be next to useless in the cursed fight. Unless I give him a stamina potion, which I'm disinclined to do because he's not especially valuable to me at the moment. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna send him out first, let him take a couple hits. Actually, no, we'll start with the cocoon, because the cocoon's gonna die. Like, he's basically doomed, but he can get a decent amount of attacks off, depending on what we're fighting. And if I switch into the cocoon, it's not gonna help. I hate it here. It's like they know. Both of these are Jin, so this guy's shit. I'm gonna have to eat the free hit here. Oh, and it's a crit too. Thanks, game. Love that for me. Oh, and you fucking missed. Come on. Sometimes you can just tell the game wants to put the screws to you. Yep, now Ignis Surge is dead. Griffin can finish this off, but then we're relying on the damn cocoon for the final little bit here. And I think I'm gonna lose again. I think I'm actually gonna fucking lose again, especially since you low-rolled, you useless bird. Okay, never mind, he died. We're okay. Don't replace with anybody. I need you to tank a couple hits. Yeah, because you're gonna exhaust and you're gonna die. Oh no, you lived. Get a good hit, please. And you missed. Thanks. I'm so glad you continue to be worthless, Griffin. Thanks. Oh, God, I don't know why I bothered training that stupid thing. Thankfully, he chose to use the ghost move, so maybe we won't be dead here, because he's being stupid. Okay. Oh, the AI forgot how to play the game. The only reason we didn't lose that is the AI forgot how to play the game. Oh, God. That was so... That should not have been a win. Fan, please. Turn off. There we go. It just kept cycling around instead of shutting down. Christ. We just keep managing to, like, hobble home. And these are just the training missions. 25 for that to evolve. Okay, all the starters are 17 then. Because that was one of our other starter choices. It was that and some kind of, like, leaf cat thing. Ghost Hunter evolves at 25, so we're gonna watch out for that. The Mime evolves at 26, depending on whether it's night or day, so that's interesting. Cocoon, oh, it evolves at 17, but I need a Necronomicon for one of the two evolutions. Which we've only seen an enemy have a Necronomicon. So it's probably gonna be the other evolution. It is interesting that one of the two things it evolves with is the Necronomicon, though. That is an interesting... Ooh, we get a soul extract here. So I could change the character of the Griffin here and make him potentially better. I feel like I'm expending so much trying to fix him. But I've put so much in trying to get him to his evolution that I feel like I have to. Okay, he has less defense now, so he's even more fragile. Great, but at least he has his full attack value. He does also have extra evade. So, it's not the worst. Could have been better. He could have had a nice character like Steadfast where there's no negatives, but no. No, why would he get a positive nature of any kind? Stupid bird just gonna fly into a damn windshield. Do I try to get Griffin to level 15 before we stop to try to see his evolution? See him through? He does at least have weak spot now, so he has one more move. But literally with 3 moves, he has as many moves as Ignis Surge has on one of his attacks. Just about. Like, he's got 9 moves total here. We've got 15 moves total here, and 26 moves total here. Like, that's the biggest problem with the Griffin, is he just does not have enough attack charges. So he basically needs to be fed stamina potions or used for one fight, more or less. Which is why I was trying to push his attack up, so that he doesn't have to attack as many times. That seems like it's his only hope of accomplishing anything. You know what? I'm gonna risk trying to go back out to try to get that evolution. I feel like this is a bad idea. But what we're gonna do in order to do that is we're actually going back to Ashen Lake. I don't expect to succeed. I'm gonna say that one right off the top. We're sending Griffin in face first and everything, and as long as I can, and we're gonna try to get him that level. Those 2 levels in order to get his evolution. And if he dies, he dies. Okay, we got a shadow. I do want one of these. Thankfully, you still get experience even if you seal them or not. Let's just leave it at the 30% though, because so many of our 60% have failed, mate. And you're just gonna waste your moves missing, aren't you? Don't even get a crit with your backstab. He's gonna run out of moves before we even get past this first encounter, if he even lives through his first encounter here. I was joking. I'm gonna have to pull him out of there. I'm gonna have to waste half the experience, because otherwise he's gonna just fucking die. Christ. Why is he so garbage sometimes? And we didn't even catch it. Everything about that was a waste. I may as well just reset. I may as well just... In fact, yeah, we're just gonna load the game. Fuck that. Fuck how that fight turned out. No. Unacceptable. That was just highway robbery. At least they do let you load out of just a dog shit roll like that. So it looks like we basically... No, we don't have the same seed, because there's a slight difference here. I think. A lot of this stuff is mostly the same, though. I think we clicked that one last time. Let's click this one. Okay, it's a unicorn this time. That's a much better fight for him. See, when it's something he can hit and hurt, he does great. And then the rest of the time, he's just terrible. See, he just swept that just fine. But at 79 experience a pop, he's not going to be able to get his evolution here, no matter how I do this. Swarthy ray of hope dispels the darkness and lights the way. Since the Abyss came, lighthouses are no longer built just along coasts. Now they mark safe paths inland, too. Before you stands one such structure. Its broken door gapes open, almost inviting entry. Inside, you find a dormant control terminal and a flimsy but working flashlight. I mean, we may as well try to turn the lighthouse on, because it'll benefit others. The flashlight would only benefit us. The lighthouse, its light long dead, flared to life again, powered by the flashlight's batteries. Its blinding beam cut through the pitch blackness, revealing the surrounding lands. The charge lasted mere moments, but it was enough to memorize details of the path ahead. Maybe I should have grabbed the flashlight. Oh well. I tried. I for some reason didn't consider the fact that it was gonna be you use the flashlight's battery to power the thing. There we go. See, he's sweeping now. He's sweeping just fine. He's gonna be out of abilities to attack basically now, though. He does have 2 tackles left, so I guess we'll fight one more. He'll tackle twice and then bail. Oh, it's a unicorn, huh? Okay. At least those 2 tackles will actually be kind of worth it, then. I could have him exhaust here, but he takes a bunch of damage from that and he will die. We'll switch to the cocoon for this. Mind Crush. I should have just spiked him. No, why did I bother spiking? There he goes. Yeah, he's gonna get level 14. Whether he gets 15 is the questionable part here. There's so many fights, though. They know what I want, but getting it to happen is gonna be the problem. Like, the game is playing along with what I'm trying to do here. Switch you out immediately. The thing is, they're also, by letting me do this, letting me set myself up for failure. Because I'm going to be in no shape to win the final fight to get out of here. Ooh, that's a good crit, though. Might actually be able to... No, I should have fireballed again. But it's fine. Not even enough for level 14 yet. Because it had to be split. Guardians deal damage and give Griffin an injury. Great. Great, thanks. Thanks for that. Wait. And we take some doubts. So our luck is in the toilet. If we look around, we'll get a scroll, but right now, a scroll is the least of our concerns. We either need the most health or the meditate to get the bonus. And I think the sleep early is the better choice still. So it'll remove the injury on Griffin. But you'll notice he still has no moves. Doesn't give moves back. That, I think, might be the biggest thing this game needs in order to feel better, is a few more options of getting moves back. I get that that's supposed to be a balancing act of, like, you have to balance how many fights you take versus what other options you deal with, and it's meant to be like, you barely are supposed to make it through things based on the way this game's presented. But I think it's just a little too far to that side right now, because you can't buy more than 1 stamina potion, for example, so you're just SOL the second you don't have a stamina potion anymore. And that's where it kind of becomes a problem. I'm gonna risk the rumors. No cash exists. I'm glad... Yeah, you know what? I had bad luck. I should have known better than to try that. All that was a trap. Oh, and I can't even catch it because it's not a wild one either. Yes. It is a ghost, though, so I can actually get type advantage here. Its electric moves are still going to do full damage, but we at least have Mind Hack, which is going to deal extra damage to it. Which is not worth it. Great. Great, I'm so glad that my characters are so good. We're starting to win now, though. I don't know why sometimes Discharge does more damage and sometimes it doesn't. I need to switch him out, though, or he's gonna die. And dying is harder to fix. So this diluted the experience a lot. Oh, good. You got shocked immediately. Thanks, Ignisurge. Thanks for just taking extra damage for no good reason here. Right side, levels for 2 of them. 1 more level, and the Griffin evolves. Oh. Even if I took both these fights, I wouldn't be able to get the level. So I don't want to. Oh, good, and it's a water type when the only guy I have left that's in any shape to fight is my fire type. Great. Great, thanks, game. Okay, you at least got a crit. Maybe you'll actually be able to win this fight, then. He did, okay. Thank you, Griffin. I'm glad you did something. Thing is, though, with how in shambles we are in very dire trouble here. Nobody has any health. Only one person has any real amount of moves that are going to be worth anything. And I have to fight 2 enemies. You have 2 tackles and then you're going to die. The best choice is probably to heal the cocoon so that at least he has some moves. I should say he has some time to live. Probably just going to go straight down the line like this and hope for the best. Muzzle doesn't help you. Here, take a coin. Puts you to 3% evasion, which that's probably not fucking worth it, is it? This is probably more worth it for you than the tinfoil hat. I should have changed his gear sooner, but I don't think it would have made a difference. Let's go. See if we can make this work. Oh, and they have 3, right. Shit. At least this was slower than Griffin, so he did at least get his attacks off before getting destroyed. And they're ending with a water type, so we are probably fucked here. Because we're basically gonna end up in the position of the cocoon has to defeat the final opponent. Nope, we're not replacing. I'm not even sure that Ignisurge is gonna be able to beat this guy in his current condition. No, good crit. Hang on. Oh, but a defense reduction in return. I had to do a not very effective move there, but nope, we are gonna kill the golem. It is gonna be a 1v1 at the end here, but it's an injured 1v1. My best hope is gonna have to be that we are faster so we at least get an edge. We are faster, and we did set him on fire. Okay. We might actually have something here. Now, if I could just poison him as well... Does do a lot of damage, though. And we didn't get the poison. And we lose. Oh, now you didn't even poison him. You infected him. Great. So close, but so far. That's frustrating. Try buying consumables with the money you don't gain. Outside of doing the levels you have to do. I do think this game is worth it. I do think they've got some work to do to clean the curve up a little bit. And maybe, just maybe, some choices are easier than others. Like some starters may have an easier time getting through than others and things like that. A lot of people are giving it negative reviews, which I don't entirely agree with giving it a negative review right now. I do think that it's a very solid idea, and it's got a lot of good going on. But it is concerning when a lot of the positive reviews are people starting with sentences like, "Do you like getting kicked in the balls for every decision you make?" And that's the thing. This definitely evokes the same feelings of playing like things like Darkest Dungeon. The reviewers are right about that, is it is constantly kicking you while you're down, and you have to fight past that. And I do think part of my problem here today is my team wasn't great. The Griffin needed a lot of help. I should have given up on him sooner probably and switched to something more effective. Obviously we were running into too many things that the Cocoon was weak to. I should not have kept bringing it, but I wanted to finish evolving both of them. And that's kind of the unfortunate split choice they put in front of you with that, is you have to kind of accept using things that are not great in order to get earlier evolutions in the hopes of getting something that might be better. So based on how minimal the benefit of evolving the grub into the cocoon was, I don't think that was the correct choice. If I were to continue playing this, which I probably will in my off time, I'm probably going to restart. Because I feel like you have a much harder path to take if you make too many mistakes along the way in what you're choosing to do, because of the fact that how do I explain this? You get such diminishing returns on having to redo areas. I think if they just even gave you a little bit more money or anything for redoing stages, since they actively encourage you to do it with their tip down there, this would work out a lot better. Because it would allow people to grind a bit more to try to push past things they're stuck on, instead of basically just having to hope for better RNG in some cases. Now, one thing I'll give them credit for, and the reviewers pointed out too, is they fixed a lot of issues with it right off the top. Like, they came out and they fixed problems fast. But that's a mixed benefit. Fixing issues fast may also mean that they knew about those issues when they pushed the game out the door. Like, I'm not going to say that that's the case here, but that is worth keeping an open mind about and understanding that that could be true. I obviously don't know how much of a team this is or anything, based on the fact that it looked like it was just somebody's name for the company. It may very well be a solo project. Yeah, because the developer is literally just a guy's name. Named Pavel. Well, I think it said, yeah. Pavel. I'm not going to try to pronounce that second half. I'm just going to be polite and not try to pronounce their name and probably do a poor job of doing so. I feel like that's more respectful to just not try that. Point being, this may very well be a solo project, which makes this a little more forgivable. I also don't know how long this is going to be, how long a game this is. Based on the fact that we apparently already have a third of the archive, this may not be that long either. In fact, we already have like a third of the game's achievements off of today's like 3-hour session. Bear in mind, even though the stream says it's been going for 4 hours, we spent an hour playing Hordes of Fate to show that off as well. So, keep that in mind. And I'm totally not just rambling on about all of this while I'm looking for a raid target or anything. No, that has nothing to do with what I'm doing here at all. Nope. Though obviously some of this is a matter of trying to, like, finish my thoughts with this at the same time. And I'm trying to keep the music for y'all, but it does keep losing the music every time I click out of the window. Which, actually, let me go ahead and exit this screen. Oh, never mind. Exiting that screen just exits the game. Never mind. Guess we'll just sit here in silence while I finish this thought, then. So, as it turns out, when you lose, your choices are leave the game or load the game. Very good. Not even a main menu option so that you could, like, try to restart or anything. No. Fascinating. That does kind of have distinct vibes of, oh, you lost? Well, guess you just have to suck it up. Which is not ideal. Not really the best look. But again, it fits into the ideas that were described there of it, like, evoking Darkest Dungeon and such, because Darkest Dungeon also doesn't care if you're losing. It'll just go, nyeh, nyeh, nyeh. But I can't speak to the second one, because I never actually played Darkest Dungeon 2. By the time it came out, I did not have expendable enough income to be just picking up everything that came up. And also, I did not especially enjoy Darkest Dungeon 1 because of the same problem of feeling like you get trapped into a situation if things are going wrong. And you can't really make meaningful strides back forward again to recover from a mistake. Like, sometimes that's fun to fight against bad odds, and then other times it's like, you know, I've just been kicked while I'm down like 3 times in a row here. I stood myself back up, and then they kicked me over again. I'm over it. Ends up being kind of the feel sometimes. Let me kill audio for y'all since there's already no audio, and let me see where this one's at. Yeah, you know what? Sure. I found this one recently, and they're playing a Pokemon Mystery Dungeon game. That seems like close enough for us to hop to. If I can spell their name. Hey, I actually spelled it basically correctly. Hooray. Yeah, we'll go see Lunartier, or who's doing Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of the Sky. Not interacted a ton with them yet, but every interaction I have had so far has been positive, so I'm willing to give that a shot. I don't really have anything crazy to add today. While the timer's going, we will talk schedule. Let's see, today is Tuesday, so there's nothing tomorrow. Thursday, we will be doing the headliners with, I think it's 5 people? Other than myself, so we've got a decent lobby of 6, I think. Let me just have a quick look, and I will be able to answer that one more thoroughly. Yes, it is 5 people other than myself, so it is a full set of 6. It's not a full lobby for that, because it can go up to 8, but that's what it's looking like right now. Friday, we'll probably clean up the other 2 Lurkit games I have. They're going to be a little trickier to balance the time between, because they do both need a bit more time, probably. And then Saturday, we will be doing a repo lobby with a bunch of the regulars, so that'll be fun. With all that said, thank you all for taking the time to be here, and have a good night. Be good to Lunar, and I'll see you on Thursday. Goodbye, everybody.